are listening to Digital Denizens.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Denizens podcast, where we live to discuss all things in the ever-expansive gaming realm. Today is February 26th, episode 24, and I'm your host, Keith Whalen, aka the Gamer Stache. Alongside me, I am joined by AJ, aka All for Gamers. Say hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend.
Well, not exactly that, but whatever. It's fine. It's good. It's good.
I tried.
We also got Matt again, aka DevotedSaintRetro. Oh, hello there, Matt. Nice entrance
Welcome
onto
to
the
the
screen. I
podcast.
like that slide in. And we're also joined by our rotating fourth chair with Dre, aka. Wait.
Rotating
Dun
foot.
dun 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 dun.
Nailed it.
Emperor, I mean Dre, aka Fingers 421. How's it going, guys? Everything going okay for you?
Going
Good.
well.
Awesome. Good to have you guys on the show. We've got an excellent episode ahead of us today. Before we do, remember that you guys want to write into the podcast and have us read your funny anecdotes, interesting or emotionally charged video game stories, offer up ridiculous life questions like, what is a clef key? Well, you might know if you accidentally threw your keys into the ring of a Pokemon battle or shoved one of these into the ignition of your car. Write in and let us know.
I did the latter.
But if you just want to share with us what you're currently playing, we'd be thrilled to share your thoughts with the rest of the listeners. We're also trying out a new segment, and we'll get into that a bit later, but I'll do a quick explanation. This is our Pixel to Pixel segment. That's kind of been reformatted to bring in streamers, YouTubers, podcasters, artists, indie devs, journalists that are in the video game industry, all of that stuff. Like-minded people, we want to bring them under one umbrella and kind of make like a social network, resource network where people can come and ask questions, kind of network with other people and get answers if they're looking to start a channel or if they're looking to get better and improve their channel. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. Speaking of which, if you guys want to write into the show, put the links down below if you're watching the video version. You can write in at Facebook at Digital Denizens, or on Instagram at Digital_Denizens. And of course, if you have any feedback, that helps us to improve the show. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. So yeah, we'll put the links down below. What's going on, guys? Video games?
Video games.
Always video games.
All right, man. So this is... Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Yes. We'll get into the video game section. But first, Dre, would you please explain what it is that you do?
So, I exist. No, I'm just kidding. So I
That's
Twitch.
a smart ass answer I was looking for.
I Twitch, man, and it's something that I've been wanting to get into, and I'll say, and I'm sure I can speak for a lot of people. It's something that I'm sure a lot of people want to get into, and they're not really sure how to go about it. You know, if I'm putting out the content, but it's just crazy, man. It's just one of those things where I just love, you know, as I'm playing, I'm making friends constantly. It's a community. Every match is a community. You know what I mean? And I'm just over there. You're just kind of building these bonds. And I was like, why not just build a giant community where, you know, we all get to kind of communicate, talk about things. We're all into the same thing. Obviously, you're watching me play it, so it's really just about putting out that content that people like to see. Apparently.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool to be part of the community. That's like kind of why we want to help people, kind of elevate them. And I mean, it's so hard to get out there and kind of, you know, grow your channel without some of the fans. I mean, we couldn't do it without the fans.
Exactly.
So yeah, so it's nice to see, you know, somebody like you. You're very personable. Like I can tell, like, you know, you probably like communicate with the fans like pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. All of my fans, you know, ceiling, standing,
Oh my god.
rotating fans, anyone you can think of. Dyson, and we don't discriminate over here. All fans,
No, they're all good fans. Except those ones you buy at the dollar store. They're fucking shit.
those ones, they crap on it like in one day. God
Yeah,
damn it.
Paper ones, fuck them.
Paper ones. They exert more heat than they wear off. God damn it.
Why isn't this working?
Why is that not working? AJ, go ahead and explain who you are and what you do.
My name is AJ from All for Gamers. So I'm the annoying guy that Keith can't get rid of. and I've been on the past few. I mean, listen, he invites me. I just don't say it. It's a pity invite. I say yes, and I just see him go, damn it. But so I run a website, allforgamers.com. I update it as often as I can. Try to update with points of news that I find interesting throughout the week. I also have an online shop where I sell gaming items. I do YouTube as well, where I go into little bits of history of tiny arcades. And I'm also going to be trying to do Twitch as well. And I'm going to actually lean heavily on Andre as my master.
Yeah, we may have to lean on him as well. Because I want to do live episodes for the podcast, and I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. So we might be like working together and doing something.
Definitely. You'll be surprised, actually. One of the most viewed channels on Twitch is the Just Chatting channel, which is crazy. You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy, but not crazy at the same time, because that's what we're all here for. We're just a community. You know what I mean? It's like a tight brotherhood, man. We're like the Elder Scrolls. We're like Skyrim, man.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah. Foos. Go.
I want to speak dragon.
Matt, go ahead and explain who you are. What is it that you do?
Hey, I'm Matt from DevotedSaintRetro. We have a website. I'm a woodworker. Actually, I'm more of a mechanic by trade, woodworker as a hobby, kind of melded into. I work on controller stands. There's actually one in AJ's background.
Dun,
dun, dun.
Legend of Zelda one that I've made for him.
Yes,
it lights up. I have a version 2 that I use epoxy, and it charges the controllers. I also make.
Sleep with it all night. I'm coming for it.
Yeah, we're barging in. We're definitely. But don't worry. We'll wear a mask. It's a pandemic. We're not reckless, but we're gonna steal that.
Right. We might be wearing Spider-Man masks, but that doesn't mean that.
With the Jason.
Just really like going up to my.
I also make 3D printed cartridge stand holders. I do pretty much a jack of all trades. I'm actually little kind of like foreshadowing of what we're going to talk about. The new Pokeball that's in one of the games that's coming out, the wooden one. I'm actually in the process of modeling, and I'm going to actually make it. And I'm going to make it do the thing that it does in the trailer.
Oh, that's super cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll give you guys, I think in the video version, I'll put the links down below for all of your guys' plugs and everything. But at the end, I'll give you guys a chance to also, put your plugs in where people can find you, where they can follow you guys, or go to your shops and buy your fucking merch and get into the shit. You know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You got to use the fists to make sure that you know that you're serious.
Assert dominance. That's it.
Assert dominance. No, not that.
Podcast has got aggressive.
All right, let's get into the games. This is our section where we talk about games. What are you buying? What are you playing? Can you guess what that's from, Andre?
Is that from? I don't know. What is that from?
Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I think I had that one for 64. I think I actually had that one for Nintendo 64. Right?
Yeah. I think that, they used to have it for a Nintendo 64. I forgot about that. I had it on PlayStation 1, but I do remember them coming out with that on Nintendo 64.
Terrible. You can't aim with that. Like, literally, it moved at 90-degree angles. You came at me at that, like, hypotenuse. Yes, I know math. You know, like, you came at me about hypotenuse. It was around.
It was already terrible to aim in those games with the PlayStation controller, and then you throw a fucking N64 controller into the mix. You're just like, I fucking give up. What am I supposed to do? Like, aim with my teeth and then like hold the other two handles? I don't know, man. This is just not making any sense.
Oh, you guys use your teeth? Oh shit.
Yeah, it got real intense one night.
That's funny.
I told you I played video games. All right, I'm sorry.
I know how to use the controller. I'm not stupid, Mom. Bottle on your tongue.
That's hilarious.
Dre, go ahead and talk about what you've been playing lately.
So honestly, lately I've been super plugged in. Obviously, I'm sure we all have our 9 to 5. So I've been plugged in at Valorant on my free time. I don't know if you guys have played it. It's like a mix of Overwatch and Counter-Strike. I've always been a huge like first-person shooter, but I play everything. I play Kingdom Hearts, anything real-time strategies. I play usually on my phone, or like if I'm on the PC and I'm really bored and I don't feel like committing too much to Valorant, I'll play a lot of Hearthstone lately also. I don't know if you guys play that. That's and they're makers of Blizzard, same makers as
Yeah.
Warcraft and
Yeah.
everything. I play some COD Warzone every now and then, some Fortnite. So mostly around the shooters for now, but there are some classics out there that I'm waiting when they drop, like God of War and things like that. I'm putting down this mouse and keyboard and I'm picking up my controller right back.
Fuck yeah, man. I know that's gonna be awesome. So what do you usually stream when you're streaming?
So lately it's really been because I've only kicked it off. It hasn't been too long. I've only kicked it off maybe like a month and a half now, and it's been Valorant, and they have a ridiculously competitive like system where it's like,
Yeah.
it's I don't know if you played like the old school Halo 2 where you
Oh,
won
yeah.
and that's it. The only way
Oh,
you
yeah.
went up is you consistently won, you lost, you got ranked back down. And yeah, I've been playing heavy that. I'm just trying to get into Immortal, which is like the top 5%. I'm like diamond rank right now, which is like top, I think 7% or whatever it is. But we're there, man. We're grinding.
That's super cool. I've checked
He
out.
only
I
plays a
haven't.
little bit.
What's that?
He only just
Getting this
plays a little bit.
Only a
one,
little
one time.
Un pequeño. That's all the Spanish I know, really. How big's your dick? Un pequeño. Sorry, honey. If you were looking for something more impressive, that's all I got. In language and down there. So I haven't played Valorant myself personally, but I've watched some of your streams a little bit here and there, like the recaps and everything. Like it looks super cool. It does look a lot like Counter-Strike and Overwatch, like combination. Like art style, I think it follows a little more like the Overwatch, but gameplay, it's definitely a lot of like
Counter-Strike, yeah.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
Mhm.
So so yeah, that looks pretty cool. What's your favorite thing about Valorant?
Honestly, it really has to be. I think I'm just so competitive as a person, and like that's what like drawn me to games in general. That like you throw anything and you can make the competitive mode actually, the matchmaking great, and like something where it's bringing together like collective effort. I'm in it. You sold me so easily, and it's such a team-based game that like you really can't. You could be like a god at the game, and you really can't solo like a whole team, even if you're amazing, because if everyone's relatively equal skill level, you just can't. There's a health-based system. Half the characters, more than half, don't regenerate, so it's like
Yeah.
you kind of need your team. So it's also like that execution, you know what I mean? When you're playing, like I said, it's a community, because you end up sitting there and you're like, you become best friends by the end of the 13th round with these 4 randos if you're playing solo or whatever, and you're just,
Yeah.
it's fucking great. I love it.
That's awesome. So is it like, are you on different teams, or is it just like free for all, or they got different match types?
If you play Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, it's like search and destroy. It's like where you have 5v5 bomb plant defuse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can win by just eliminating the other 5, but if they already have the bomb planted, you have to defuse, and vice versa. You just have to eliminate them. But it's just because the way that they divide the map and everything. It's kind of like if you want to get to one site, certain characters have flashes, the other ones can smoke, like drop smokes that block vision,
Yeah.
and then it's just that play that you got to do. Like there's like strategies. Like one of the characters like dashes really fast. Her name is Jet.
Oh, nice.
And it
Yeah.
was,
So it's like Counter-Strike with the characters that are in Overwatch.
yeah,
Each
basically
has a specific skill.
exactly. It
Yeah,
really
I've
is.
seen-
So now,
They have these different abilities locked to each character and everything.
but they also added some different ones that like you don't quite see in Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like there's a character Cypher that has like a cam that you can like stick on and you can watch things, and then it has like little tripwires that like tell you where the enemy are, but it also like outlines them through walls, and like if they don't destroy them in time, they get stunned. It's like it's pretty cool. It's just pretty dope.
That is really cool. Yeah. Let's see. Matt, what have you been playing?
We talked about it in the last podcast. I've been doing the Nuzlocke.
Oh,
but
nice.
right now I picked up Rogue Heroes.
I need to still
is-
pick that up. Yeah.
It's basically like a procedural Legend of Zelda. Link to the Past. Had to think of the game. But it also has a lot of elements of like an RPG where you can level up your attack, your reach, all this other stuff, and you can do online multiplayer with people up to 4 people, and it's got a little bit of Stardew Valley typeness to
Yeah.
it, because you can create a town where other people move in and whatnot, and they give you different things. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's definitely like that procedural Dead Cells where you go into a dungeon, you know you're not going to beat the dungeon, you die, you keep all your stuff, you get out, and then when you go back into the dungeon, if you don't spend all of your like they call them gems, they actually take away all your gems.
Oh,
So you have to
yeah.
spend them.
Yep.
So it's definitely it's a lot of fun. I haven't really gotten too far into it. I've also been playing Valheim.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
yes.
how is that? You need it because I'm peer pressured more than I've been peer pressured for like actual drugs to play Valheim.
Valheim, honestly, so I'm not by any means a PC gamer. I am, when it comes to mouse and keyboard, I suck. I'm much
Is it only
more.
available on PC right now?
Yes, it's only
Okay.
available on PC, and from what I heard, it's only like a 5-person team. It's kind of like the same story as like Among Us, where it's like a
Oh,
3-person
okay.
team that just
Yeah.
made this. But it's complete. It's almost exactly like Minecraft, but the
Mhm.
building system is way crazier. And it's all about PvE.
Wow. Okay.
And you have these different bosses that you have to beat, and you have to call on them, and you can call them as many times as you want. So like the first boss you need to give them 2 deer trophies, which is basically a deer head, and you can continuously farm it to increase all of your things. So like if you want to work on arrows or your bow skills, you can keep firing the bows and it increases your skill.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that. I like when they do stuff like that. Like Cyberpunk has a little bit of that. Skyrim does that with like
Yep.
progression system where
Yeah.
the more you do a certain skill, it levels up that skill and you get better. I like that.
Yep.
Because you're not going to be leveling up stuff that you're not going to want to focus on. It's what
Exactly. Like you
want to
could
hone
level
in
up
on.
your sneak, you can level up your jump, you can level up
Yeah.
your stamina and stuff like that. It's fun. Actually, me and AJ have been playing a little bit of it, not a lot. I mean, we've only played it twice, 3 times. But I
Once,
mean,
for me, anyways.
but I mean, I'm really not good with mouse and keyboard, but this one is very simple for me because like if I jump into a first person shooter, I definitely would suck.
The interesting part is when you have the 3 of us idiots. It was one of our other friends, and then we just realized that you can actually start getting the skills just by doing them. And our friend just kept on punching me in the face, like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know, but I'm leveling up."
I don't know, but I'm liking it.
And at any time, I could have turned on PvP, and then he would have killed him.
Yep.
I didn't even think of it now. Now that I think about it, I should have done that.
That's
Would have been great
cool.
for content.
Yeah, we'll have to try and jump in a game in that.
Yeah.
Is it free to play?
It is $20
$20
early
it is.
access.
That's
they have
yeah.
so it's like Minecraft where they put you into a seed and you can go wherever, and it's completely, you walk around and it's completely procedural. You can go anywhere.
From everything that I've heard people talking about it, like they're just having like a blast with it. I think that would be super cool to jump in and like do a stream of that.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I love about stream too, is that you can jump in a game like that, and then at the same time while you're just fucking around, you're also just chill. Like it's like I don't need to go to a hookah bar, man. Let's go to the fucking Cyberland and just fucking fuck around. Like
Hell yeah, you can come up
Yeah.
with a whole entire freaking story. Like, I'm the bastard child that just ran into 3 of my other brothers, and for some reason they won't leave me the fuck alone.
Oh my god, that's cool. Yeah, and then I think we kind of talked about getting into Rogue Heroes together too. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I think that's only on Switch, right?
No, it's on Switch and PC.
Oh, okay.
well.
I got a Switch anyway. I'd game on anything.
Oh, good. So you're gonna have to give us your
Friend code,
ID.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm pretty sure Rogue Heroes it's a 3rd-person tactical type shooter that's free to play. It looks interesting. I've never played it though.
Rogue Heroes?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're not. Sorry, I'm not saying. Oh, God Almighty.
Valheim.
Somebody get this man a cup of coffee.
Somebody get
thinking of
this-
another first-person shooter it's called Rogue something. I apologize.
Well,
Somebody get this guy a green mushroom. God damn it.
I apologize.
Oh my god.
Yes, Rogue Heroes is on the Switch and it's also on PC too.
Okay,
The one
cool.
that I was talking about, yes.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to get into that. AJ, what have you been playing?
I don't know. Is that gonna be? Am I able to say that on this podcast? It's like we're keeping it PG-13 here because
have
this is out of the.
Do you have an NDA that you're under or something? Something you
They
can't
told
talk
me-
about?
We're talking about tools bigger than 3 inches, so you could X out that other one, all right? So
Oh, in that case, I've just been playing a lot of video games.
cartridges bigger than 3. There goes his switch. I mean,
There
It's
goes
like, put
his
it
prep.
down. What? I've just played with this.
Hand check, AJ.
my controllers are white, I swear. My controllers are glazed, I swear.
I had a
You
donut.
knuckling it.
That's
Don't
not what
worry.
it is.
Sorry, I have URL next to me. So watch my soul. So I haven't actually been playing anything new. Actually, no, that's a lie. Recently I just got into Rogue Heroes about 2 minutes ago when Matt said so, and I downloaded it. So it seems like a really fun game.
It looks like a really fun game. I haven't played it yet. I
When you
looked
play
at
back
it.
the clip, you'll see my dopey ass go like, "Oh shit, that's right," and it originally
Yeah.
Switch. Yeah, I downloaded it. But
Yeah, but it had a demo. You could have played the demo.
listen, you
Yeah.
said Legend of Zelda. I don't know if you know this, but I like Legend of Zelda. Let's go! I'm ready. $20,
Yeah.
well spent. I don't care. MVP.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I just kind of been just doing the same thing. I've been playing Breath of the Wild. On my Twitch stream, you'll actually see that I did a couple of tests with Breath of the Wild, and funny enough, they suck because my streaming ain't doing well. So I need to figure shit out.
How did you stream it through your Switch?
So actually, it's pretty cool. So I have it docked, and I have it the HDMI plugged into my AverMedia, which is my capture card. AverMedia then gets plugged into the back of my monitor, so it's able to capture the video pretty well. I'm working on the audio, but the first run through, you can hear me talking, and I got the talking down pat, which is fantastic. So that's 50% of it. And it's just the fucking gameplay, and the audio is just not there. So you just see like everything glitching out or whatever. So I'm like, screw it. I tried last night to try to see what I could do, and I'm talking to myself like a putz. I'm like, I can't hear anything in my ears or anything. I don't know if you guys can, and you can actually hear the gameplay. It's like it's terrible, but you can hear it the whole entire time. I'm saying I can't hear shit, and this is terrible. So,
That's the kind of stream I want to get into.
oh yeah, I got like 20 views on my first test stream, and I even told him like, this is not for content. It's like this is just me testing shit out. 20 people thought it was okay, apparently.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It could have been you 20 times on your phone.
Yeah.
Let's say how I got it, damn it.
No, but really, man, that's what I was saying. Like, it's just crazy, man. People are there, and then like, it's such a just dope community. I'm telling you. I try to catch you, but you're on at like fucking all hours, man. I don't know. You're like Batman. I don't even know what's going on. You're like rescuing Gotham City and rescuing Hyrule at like fucking 3 a.m. or some shit. Like,
Nobody knows if this stream actually exists. It's just only heard by
He's
word of
just
mouth.
like online. Like, what is he doing? Is he masturbating again? God damn
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I was like, God damn it.
You're like the drummer from REO Speedwagon. No one knows who you are.
This is the fourth Twitch account you've made, AJ. Calm down. God
Change
damn.
the names.
A4GC5. I understand your game now.
I can.
Yeah.
I can. There's someone I know though. She streams from her Switch, and she does a lot of Zelda as well. And she's actually the one that's going to be teaching me on how to do the dual stream, where let's just say all four of us wanted to be on the same stream, different ones, and
Different views.
yeah, and it would only, mind you, I don't know about it splitting the actual screen for it to show all four of our gameplay, but it'll definitely show all four of our cameras. And she was playing a co-op game with someone else, and that person was also in the same game, and they had both of their reactions on there. So once she gives me the tutorial, I think we'll be able to release that, and that'll be that'll be dope, and we could chime in on a game there.
Hell yeah,
Dude, I like
that's
it.
awesome.
tap some cheeks in Super Smash Brothers since I know that we all have Switch.
Yes.
I
I haven't played in once, so you fucking.
I haven't played in a long time too, but I was like tournament level, so like I said, it's always about competitive.
Don't
man.
say that because
Last
I'm
time I
not
played, I
tournament level.
had to unlock Sephiroth, and that was like the early challenge to unlock Sephiroth, and that was a bitch to unlock.
Yeah.
But come to find out, Leslie, who we had on the last podcast, she told me her 15 or 13-year-old daughter did it on like the third try, and it took me like 49 tries, and I was just like, fuck. What is this bullshit?
Yeah, man. You gotta you gotta blame younger synapses or some shit, man.
Yeah.
Younger me would wipe his own ass with me. Like
Right,
that's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
That's what he would do.
I know, like I can't. You know why I can't remember like any of my fucking childhoods? Because I smoked too much fucking pot in high school.
There's no such thing as that.
Yeah. Burned out too many fucking brain cells.
Something happened. I don't know what, man. I'm telling you.
Oh man. So I played a little bit of Cyberpunk this week. I'm still working on my second playthrough with the Nomad life path. And as I explained last episode, I rolled on like 238 hours of like the Street Kid life path. Got 3 endings out of who knows how many there even are. And so yeah, I'm just having fun with that. It's cool seeing like some of the differences with the life path of like the dialogue, being like a nomad versus a street kid. Because the nomads kind of live outside the city, so you kind of see a little bit of differences in the dialogue where you're like, it'll pop up and say nomad, and you can click that one and it'll say like, oh, this is my life experience, moving on the road and doing like stuff like that. So it's a lot of cool shit like that. I've also been messing around with like more mods and stuff where I was able to like, because you can do like cyberware, like when you're creating your character, you can add cyberware to your face and like your arms and stuff. And I added some really cool mods where you can add like a robotic arm, like totally metal arm on one side, and then the other side could be like, you can get the gorilla arms that punch really hard, and they got cool cyberware. So it's kind of like a mashup between the two, and like it's just, some people make some really interesting mods out there. Like just some of the work they put into this shit is just like fucking stellar.
Yeah.
Now, is that including the Keanu mod that you're talking about, or is that excluding?
No, I did not have sex with Keanu Reeves. That was my assistant. Assistant. Yeah, no, I've just been like messing around with a lot of like aesthetic mods and things like that. Which, Andre, if you decide to get into Cyberpunk, I recommend like checking out on like Nexus Mods. You can get some really cool mods for the PC version.
I can only imagine, man. They did some amazing shit with Counter-Strike and putting in like Warcraft mods into that and everything. I can only imagine what they're doing with that.
It's super cool. Well, like when I first jumped into Cyberpunk, like I didn't really care for the driving was okay, but people made some really cool mods that tweaked the driving model that actually made it like, this is how like GTA almost.
Yeah,
how good that feels.
So did you prefer like actually doing when you drove, right? Because I have it on my fucking potato of an Xbox, and I would say like if you get it, definitely get it on the PC, Dre. But when I played it on the Xbox, I was like, I bought it day one, and I didn't know what the hell the game was. I told Keith this a million times. It was hilarious because I literally didn't know what the game was about. I kept myself like blind in the dark about it. And I'm just like watching all these people just pop out of nowhere, pop into from somewhere. Cars are flying. I can see through people. It was the fucking weirdest thing.
People like T-pose and shit like that.
Yeah, and you see like people just like standing there like that. People's guns are like freaking phasing through them. It's like, all right, yeah, shoot, yeah. But
yeah,
it was funny.
A lot of weird
would you
shit.
say that you prefer driving third person or first person? Because I couldn't stand driving first person. It drove me bananas.
Most of the time I drive third person. Like I've done it a couple times in first person. Like I love the aesthetic of the cars on the inside.
Yes.
But it is really hard to see. Like it's either like really difficult to see over the dashboard, like you're a midget in the car, or you're just like or like the lighting is so weird that like it's like the sun is shining through the windshield and you can't fucking see a damn thing. Yeah, but then you go into third person and the lighting's totally fine. So I don't know. I think like they need to make some tweaks to that stuff because like I don't know. I just switch over to the third person. I like the aesthetics of the way the cars look and everything. So yeah, I usually do that. What's kind of funny actually, so I went on the podcast with Just Your Average channel with Chad and Chris and everything. And so I think we're gonna be I think Monday we're gonna be doing a podcast where we're talking about Johnny Mnemonic because we all watched it.
Awesome.
It's gonna be the what's that other channel that they have?
Which they have a million. They have ADD.
Yeah, you're right. It's not very specific.
The fanboy and the snob? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. So what's funny though is like I watched Johnny Mnemonic. Like it's been years since I've seen that movie, and I like watching it again. I was like, this is literally the same plot as Cyberpunk, almost to like a T. Like CD Projekt Red stole the plot of Johnny Mnemonic, which I mean is fair enough. I mean Keanu Reeves is in the movie, but still,
Probably
like
why they wanted to hire him.
yeah, it's very close to it, which was cool though. I mean, like there's so many things I think they pulled from that movie to put into the game, and you're like, oh, that's cool. It's like really cool homage to it, So yeah, other than that, I downloaded the demo for I think Rogue Heroes. I don't know, maybe it wasn't Rogue Heroes. I definitely downloaded the demo for that Project Triangle strategy working title game. And I haven't played it, but I really wanted to, if that makes any difference.
The will was there, just couldn't pull the trigger on it.
Yeah. Well, this week has been just like a shit show after another. Like my computer wanting to shit the bed. Like I'm trying to do editing and rendering videos in Adobe Audition, or not Audition, Premiere Rush. For the video editing. Didn't want to fucking render it, kept like failing on me, and then trying to upload the videos to YouTube last night, like I gave up after like the 90th try because it said it was going to take like 5 hours to upload this video, and it's just like, fuck you, grandma, I'm over this bullshit. I fucking went to bed and I was just like, and then on top of that, every once in a while I go to get up from my chair and I get shocked on the left armrest and my computer fucking freezes and restarts. What the fuck is going on here?
You kick grandma's wheelchair down the stairs. Bye, grandma.
Yeah, you're the source of my fucking grounding issues. Fuck you, grandma. So yeah, it's just been like a whole like slew of crap like that. And I finally got my CPAP machine today after like 2 months of doing my sleep study. So we'll see how like living life like Darth Vader's like. Nice. Yeah, so that's fun. All right. Anybody got any other games they want to talk about?
No, but now you got me thinking about like, if you're sleeping and you think you're a Sith, are you really sleeping?
Oh.
Is that like if a bear shits
like
in the wood, nobody?
Star, right?
Right.
Sort of like the Death Star.
Oh my god. All right, let's move into the news section. So we had a bunch of interesting stuff going on with Pokemon. I'm not huge into Pokemon, but I know Matt and Dre are. I have nothing against Pokemon. It's just like I used to collect cards and things like that. I saw those in your background. I was like, I knew it. There's something wrong with that guy. No.
What? You don't have 2 balls somewhere in the room? Come on, keep 2 balls on you at all time. Unless
Blue,
Lance
not red.
Armstrong.
I have small ones.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to admit to that.
My bad.
Whatever.
We're all being honest here, okay? All right. So I think the first bit, we had the Pokemon Presents live stream. That was today, correct?
It wasn't a live stream. It was an actual video. So
Yeah.
it was a premiere. I thought it was going to be like a direct, but it really wasn't.
Okay. And then this is all kind of surrounding tomorrow's Pokemon Day, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, I'm on the money. And during this during this video, they revealed Diamond and Pearl remakes for Nintendo Switch. Pokemon reveals happened on the eve of the franchise's 25th anniversary. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will launch late 2021. What do you think about this, Matt? What do you think this means?
I'm actually excited. Not 100% sure I like the gaming aesthetic. It's kind of cool that they're keeping the top down from the 3DS, like when the later generations. I think it was X and Y as they made the top down type 3D rendering on the 3DS. But
Is this a total overhaul, like from the original?
Yes, because the original was like a 2D. In I think it was 2010. When did it come out?
I don't know the year. I'd have to look it up.
I think it was either 2010 or 2013. I forget which one.
Says Diamond and Pearl launched 2006 on Nintendo DS. The game.
I was way off.
And you call yourself a fan?
That's disgusting.
Ceiling fan.
Whatever.
I was gonna make a really dark joke, and I was like, I don't even know if I should do it. I was gonna like make like a ceiling fan and hang from the sea. No, that got too dark, way too quick. Even for me.
You're like, nah,
Which
man,
that
that's
says
too
something.
dark.
He's usually not shy about anything.
Yeah, literally. I was like, no, man, it's okay. You're okay.
It's all right. We're okay here.
The game itself, I am excited for. I mean, everybody has been asking for Diamond and Pearl remakes for, God, the last 3 months, ever since we heard about the 25th anniversary, because the next logical game was Diamond and Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. This is one of the games that I actually got me back into Pokemon when they first came out, and I remember me and my wife, we put about 300 to like 400 hours each on the game. That was when we were first married, so
yeah,
we had a lot of time to play it. Other than now, when we barely have time to breathe. Anyway,
that's overrated anyway.
Exactly,
Much like my ceiling fans, you know. That's just.
No, they just treat the kids
stop
like
breathing, too.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
you know?
Use water. It's super effective.
But
Oh.
I mean, I hope that they don't put them at full price. I hope they don't put them at like $60 or $50. I think that's maybe like a $30 game.
Sure.
Now, do you think they're going to be packaged together or separately?
I could
they
see
usually
them.
do
I could
that.
see them packaging them together for like $60.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd be fine with that. I don't think that they should be packaging them together and selling them for 100, like they did with Sword and Shield.
That's what I was just gonna say they might do that again. That's
Yeah.
what they did last time, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like with this one you're getting a lot more than you did with Sword and Shield too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, this one you're getting a full game, but I mean, Sword and Shield was a much bigger expanse of a game. Diamond and Pearl it's like a traditional Pokemon game, and they're keeping that like Link's Awakening type down 3D render, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're keeping the aesthetic of the original games, which is cool. I actually kind of like that idea, and and I think that's where a lot of people are going to be drawn in, especially people who've played Diamond and Pearl. They're going to be like, okay, cool. If they're
Still got a
doing this,
lot of that. Still got a lot of that nostalgia that brought people to the original.
and that's what Nintendo does well. I mean, we've talked about it numerous times before. Nintendo does nostalgia so well.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about this, Jay?
I think honestly, I mean, I'm super excited for it. It's just, and it's kind of crazy because I feel like it's like we call it the Dynasty Warriors effect, even though I know there's two different franchises. Like they could release, it's essentially the same game, right? They change a few things, they add a couple Pokemon, but it's like that Futurama meme, like shut up and take my money, like every single time.
Yeah, I love that.
But I do like it's something about it's just you know what it is about, and I don't know if Matt feels the same way. It's like it takes the nostalgia factor, but when you put in that new aesthetic to it, it's just different because it's something about like I can look at Red and Blue, right? Like even take that, even if they remade Fire Red and you know Leaf Green this time, even another time with 3D, it's still gonna be different for me because it's like you take the beautiful game that it once was, and you got modern aesthetic every year. Technology, you know, continues to blow me. I mean, blow me away. But don't you dare spit that out. We talk about blowing. You need to swallow that. All right.
Keith, just write down the timestamp because these are perfect clips for Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, probably not the best part. It's just like, oh yeah, no, welcome Dre.
hey,
Yeah, I got
it will
blown.
make
listen, Grindr will follow him.
People come onto our.
It'll make people come. You heard him. It'll make people come. Clip that. He said it.
Go. Yes. Come and blowjobs.
They love to come. That's the number one thing.
Oh,
But no, but jokes aside, like I think that's what it looked amazing. I didn't get to watch the whole video, but
It was pretty spotty, which it was really weird.
Yeah, but just the aesthetics of it compared to what I remember of Diamond and Pearl, like he said, especially now that you clip the date, I'm like 06, like I didn't even remember it being that old. And we're talking now what 15 years ago, How many things have changed there? Not AJ's penis size, but many things.
One pee touch.
How many times can we say un pequeño in an effective way on this podcast? That's
we're already at like 8 or something. I don't know. Keep it going. Keep it going.
He's penis shy. He's a little guy. He's a grower, not a shower.
It's cold outside. God damn it! It's not a force.
We're almost in spring. Don't worry. Yeah.
I'm so glad we're doing this when Leslie's
the groundhog hasn't shown its shadow yet. I mean, AJ's penis hasn't shown its shadow yet.
No, it has. It's just so small you can't see it.
But yeah, man, it's definitely. It really looks amazing. And like as a Pokemon, I mean, like I feel like I'll forever be a Pokemon fan. As long as they reintroduce some new fucking Pokemon, I'm sold.
Yeah, for somebody like me, I think that like I used to collect all the cards and stuff when I was in like middle school and all that shit, and even younger than that. But I think this might be something that would be really cool to bring new players into like the franchise. I think it would bring a lot of people like but not everybody has all the retro consoles, like newer kids of like the newer generations and stuff like that. Most kids have Switches, but they only have like some of the more simpler, like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, which are more like you guys were saying, it's more like Pokemon Go and what's the other one?
No, just Pokemon Go.
Just Pokemon
okay.
Go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think like this is really cool because it brings it back to like the days of the original Pokemon, traditional style, but having more of like this open world
graphical
kind of thing, like that. What people wanted, this is what people wanted for a long time.
It's pretty much, I'm gonna call it the Link's Awakening kind of mantra. What they did, they basically took Link's Awakening and just graphically updated it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
kept a lot of the cool things that we all liked from the original.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the same thing with this.
But I mean, I wasn't here for the prior podcast. I played that. I played the crap out of that shit. You guys did too, I'm assuming, right? Link's Awakening.
Yeah, I haven't played it. No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I for me, maybe I'm just a sucker too. But I think I'd probably speak for a lot of gamers. I feel like out there when you remake some shit that I remember from my childhood, like Doom or Wolfenstein 3D. You make that shit fucking with today's technology. I'm playing it. I'm playing it, man. Like,
I do love me the new Wolfenstein games. Those games are fucking bomb.
Doom 2016, ask Matt. I was all over that. I had it on my PlayStation. I had it on my Xbox. I had it on my Switch. He's like, what? I still have them all on my Xbox, and I got it the second one on my Xbox. I love those games. I am terrible at them, but they're fun.
I still like the 2016 Doom better than Doom Eternal.
I would agree to an extent, only because I liked it. So both soundtracks, in my opinion, fucking ripped. I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is better. It's a little more grittier and it's a little heavier for my liking, so I like it that way. The aesthetic is more dark, and yet it's kind of more to the Doom theme. The second one is more arcadey, which it took me a little bit to get. I was a little jarred at first because you go from actually collecting armor, collecting everything else, just like from the originals, to like the weird collections that you have to do now. It's like, I don't know, and you can't even get the Doom guys anymore. I loved collecting the Doom guys.
Throughout 2016. I think the only I liked a lot of the like the traversal and all that stuff and being more open world in the newer one, but The one thing I didn't like was they forced you to use other weapons. Like they were like, "Oh, you got to use this weapon against this enemy because
Yeah.
this is their weakness," and they didn't give you much ammo. So like they're always kind of forcing you into like doing this like song and dance of like, let me take down this enemy with like a brutal attack to get more ammo, and then do this and do that, and it was just like all this back and forth. When it's just like, just give me fucking weapons, give me ammo, and let me fucking blow the shit out of these fucking creatures.
Let me spray
you know?
down with my pistol if I want to. God damn it!
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
small, but it works. Ask AJ.
It does work. Believe me.
Un pequeño.
Yo, but the boss in the second one though, in my
Yeah.
opinion, I thought that was better than 2016. I thought they freaking nailed it. You had that big fucking lumbering bastard, and you were traversing around the freaking rooftops. I thought they did that like
That's
fucking
cool.
killer. Matt, you suck. Get in on this.
I should go.
No,
I should
because
go back.
I've never played either one. So.
You never played Doom like back in the day?
Oh yeah, I used to play the original Doom, but 2016 I played for about 5 minutes, and I
You
was
know-
like, this was not fun at all,
Oh,
and I
man.
stopped.
I do still like Doom 3D. Doom 3D was like one of the best
Oh
ones.
man,
Yeah.
was it Doom 3D? So the 64 one, right? Doom 64.
Well, they had it. I know they had it on PC. I think they did come out with it on 64 as well.
'Cause I bought it on my Switch, and I had it as a free DLC. I think because I pre-ordered it on my Xbox, so I got it on there too.
Oh, that's super cool.
Either that or I just bought it. I don't know. Either way, I have it. That's the important thing.
So let me finish off this Diamond and Pearl thing. So I think this is a little different because this takes place. I hope I'm saying this right. The Sinnoh region.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Home to the Pokemon such as Bidoof, Luxio, Drifloon, and Arceus.
Arceus, yeah.
Yep.
Arceus.
The
The
god.
update. Yes, that's right. Yeah, the god. The updated versions have a cute, chipified look, though both are faithful remakes of the originals. Trailer released alongside the news today teases familiar locations and faces in the Switch version, as well as some quality of life upgrades. Pokemon home developer Ika is working on both games alongside lifetime Game Freak director. There's a lot of weird names. I
Masuda.
cannot pronounce all this shit.
Junichi Masuda.
Yes, there we go. You've got the accent right. I like that. They've been rumors of Diamond and Pearl remakes online for the past few weeks. This year marks the game's 15th anniversary alongside Pokemon's overall 25th anniversary. The company has been celebrating with virtual concerts featuring Katy Perry and Post Malone. I mean, I
Post
don't care
Malone's
about
concert is tomorrow night at 7.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Which is crazy. Just as a concept, it's just crazy. Like,
Malone and
if you
Pokemon.
pause for a second, yeah, you just gotta pause for
Yeah.
a second and really think about, like, you're playing Red and Blue. I don't know, it's fucking 96 right now, and you're playing in fucking 8-bit, and you're gonna think that you're gonna watch a fucking concert. You know what I mean? Like in
Right,
Pokemon,
98
like,
because it came out in the States in 98.
yeah, it came out in the States in '98, but you know what I mean. Like long story short, it's just like you got hip hop and Pokemon. Like what? You know,
It's so weird.
fucking crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it's such a weird
It
thing.
just goes to show the extent that it's out there, man. Pokemon's got reach, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody plays it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the next part was the you want to read this part, Matt?
The Pokemon Legends. I don't have the Google Doc up yet, because
Okay.
I'm poor and it's all on my phone. Anyway, but the Pokemon Legends Arceus looks insane. It's basically they put Pokemon with Breath of the Wild,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the best description of the game. They added the RPG elements to it. This is a game that people have been fans of the series have been wanting forever, and they've been it's really cool because it's Sinnoh, but before it became the Sinnoh of Diamond and Pearl, and you are basically making your own Pokedex. You're filling up the Pokedex to give the Sinnoh region its own Pokedex, which is really cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy breakdown. I mean, I'm more than happy to go over it. It basically takes us to the Sinnoh region, There's a new open world Pokemon game, right? It's called Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's going to be coming to Nintendo Switch early 2022. The Pokemon company announced on Friday that it's going to be basically that Pokemon is going to present it on their stream. They're going to announce it that in early 2022, that's when this new game is coming out. But the trailer showed a ridiculous amount of trainers being presented with 3 starter Pokemon, right? And it was ridiculous. They had Rowlet, they had Cyndaquil, and they had Oshawott. So if you know the Pokemon games, Rowlet's from Alola, you got Cyndaquil from Johto, and Oshawott from Unova. Those are obviously 3 different regions. I'll be honest with you, I probably pronounced all the regions wrong because even growing up, I would just call them Kanto, and people would be like, "Well, it's Kanto." And it's like, "Well, you're a Kanto." Like, I don't know.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you, buddy. But
not Ryu, it's Ryu.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what's funny? To be honest with you, that one. So, all right, I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna bring up, Volpe. You know exactly what I'm gonna bring up.
I'm afraid.
What am I gonna bring up? It starts with an M, man. It's in my background. My number one pet peeve is when people mispronounce fucking Mario. The guy fucking introduces himself. He says, "It's a Mia Mario," and then people come up to you like, "Hey, you play Super Mario Brothers?" No, fucker. No, that's not his name. I'm sorry. I have to stop the Pokemon, just to go over that. But
he went off one day on one of his streams. I was watching it. I just watched him just blow up. Just like, no, it's fucking Mario. He introduces himself. How stupid are you?
Yeah, like literally, you can't. Even, he says his name. Your only valid excuse is if you're deaf. If you're deaf, then okay, call him Mario because guess what? You didn't hear him say Mario. But if you've got ears and you've got a pulse, you're a fucking idiot if you call him Mario. God damn.
Yeah.
You got. I know AJ knows this, but do you know how Mario got his name?
No, actually, I do not.
I'm curious.
AJ.
It was the Nintendo of America. It was the landlord. They actually named him after the landlord of the building.
I did hear that. That actually. Yes, you're absolutely right. I did hear that.
Yeah, I heard about that on another podcast. They were talking about that.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, all right. So I'm sorry, I broke off on my own tangent. So going back to the Pokemon. So the game takes place in the Sinnoh region and features trainers that do look similar to the trainers that you played with in Diamond and Pearl, but basically with an old school Japanese twist. So it's still going to be kind of the same old things that we love, throwing old Pokeballs at wild Pokemon.
And the Pokeballs are different.
Yeah, the Pokeballs are slightly different. Yep.
They're made out of wood.
Okay.
And when they capture the Pokeball, instead of it shaking and then like in traditional games, the middle button blinks red and then blinks green when you catch it. But in this, it has a steam vent on the top, and when it catches it, a puff of steam comes out the top, and like a little firework comes off. Letting you know that you've captured it.
I think one of the bigger things that I also saw, and it looks like that's the next point that I was going to make, is that you don't need to battle them anymore, right? For certain parts, you don't need to battle.
Yeah.
You're going to still need to get through certain parts of the game. I think you still have the battling effect because that's what we all obviously know and love about Pokemon. But
you have to have them out following you, and then you can have them fight the Pokemon that are in front of you to catch. And they even somebody else I saw like on a random YouTube video, I don't remember who it was, but they do show a different variant of the Rhyhorn because that Rhyhorn was blue, ice blue.
Well, I think that's just the shiny version. If you play the game, isn't shiny Rhyhorn blue?
No, shiny Rhyhorn is yellow.
Oh wow! What color is shiny Rhydon then?
Shiny Rhydon is
as his face disappears.
Sorry, no. I look back at my wife because she plays Pokemon Go, so she actually would know it. But I know
cheater.
I don't shiny hunt, dude.
You know nothing, John.
Original Rhyhorn is kind of blue. I could argue if you guys want to do a quick
red. Yeah, but it might have been lighting, but it looks ice blue to me. Maybe it's just.
It could have been the lighting though, because he is like a light gray. He is kind of blue there, so. I mean, I wouldn't call him a crip, but he's pretty. That's a good old hood humor. Take the man out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the man.
Damn right, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know from what I saw, Arceus, the godlike Pokemon, as everyone knows him, he plays a major role in the game, but they didn't really give more information about it during the stream. So that was pretty much it for the new Legends game that's going to be dropping in 2022. I know I'm super excited. Definitely
And that
something
one-
I have on my calendar.
That one's
Yep.
more open world than like the Diamond and Pearl remakes, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's really
they
cool.
were explaining that it's gonna have a lot more RPG elements to it
Mhm.
than like your traditional Pokemon game.
I'd totally be down for that shit, man.
I think
Yeah,
that's
like-
what's addicting about Pokemon, to be honest with you. Just that RPG, that level up, that growth factor. You know, you're just
Yeah.
like, it's weird. You just like to amass power. I think we're all just like,
Power
Power
hungry.
yeah, just power. I was gonna make a really bad example again. I was gonna be like, it's not even worth it. I'm just not gonna say it. I was gonna reference a famous person from World War II, and we all got mini ones inside of us, and that's just,
Does he have very short facial hair?
Let's just say his mustache isn't his mustache is a Volpe version of.
Oh my
Oh, he's
gosh.
got my dick on his face.
Oh my
Everybody talk amongst yourself. You can speculate who that is.
No, it's just really like it's a power hungry thing, man. I feel like
Yeah.
all RPGs are just kind of like, I want to fucking one hit KO with someone. I want the, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
See, I think I would totally get into this, like being, a little more RPG like oriented. I mean, like I wasn't super into RPGs when I was a kid, when like a lot of the original games came out, but now like I fucking love RPGs. So I think like this would probably, I'd take more of a liking to it now than some of like the newer ones that are coming out. Which, like I said, I think this is what a lot of people wanted in a Pokemon game nowadays.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people I know in the community wanted a MMO. Yeah, it's kind of like WoW, open
Okay.
world concept, but with multiple players.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
I don't
cool.
know if you guys have seen some of the newer like Pokemon games that fans have created.
No.
No. I don't
Oh,
think.
dude, there's one. This is a YouTuber called A Drive. He's a very popular YouTuber for Pokemon, and he's been playing this thing called Pokemon Xenoverse.
Oh yes, I've heard of that one. I've heard of that one. Yeah.
And they basically take different variants and they made a whole bunch of like randomly new Pokemon. They have a new typing, which is sound.
Mhm.
It's just the game looks so polished and so good.
Yeah, you have to send us the links on that. I'd like to check
Yeah.
that out. That's really cool. This next one, on a related note, the Pokemon Company and the Wand Company have teamed up for a die-cast Pokeball replica that's made of metal and has a premium painted finish. But that's not even the exciting part.
They have the
It
Master Ball.
also, what's that?
They have the Master Ball also.
Oh, that's cool as shit. It also
I want
features
that.
proximity sensing technology, which allows the Pokeball button to glow when it senses motion. Plus, pressing the button will change the light color of the Pokeball and start a Pokemon catching illumination sequence. Finally, each Pokeball will be packaged in special presentation case, complete with numbered hologram for authentication, multicolored lights that shine whenever somebody opens the display case. You can see it in action. There was like a video in the link that I put down below if you guys wanted to look at that. Pre-orders for the Pokeball replica, I guess, are live now on Amazon for like $100. Or you can go to our friend Matt here and have him make you a fucking wooden one, which is even cooler.
True.
Yeah. So the one that's in the
Mic drop, bitch.
the one that's in the
Ball drop.
Legends, the one that has the
Yes,
puff.
they just dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
why you
go
all of a
ahead.
sudden have a deeper voice. Okay.
Hi guys.
You guys
Well,
wanna
the
play
wooden ones
baseball?
in Legends, I found just one of the random pictures online, and I'm actually trying to 3D model it, and
That's
I'm gonna create it completely out of wood.
That's awesome. Are
That's
you gonna put any lights in it or anything, or?
I don't know if I want to put lights in it because obviously the whole thing's made out of wood, but I would like to put the puff of like I want to do the vapor because they say
Oh
steam,
yeah.
but I want to put a puff of vapor coming out the top. I want to get that done as fast as I can because that would be awesome.
Dude, I'm in. You just got me sold. You got to pop a link for that. I definitely want to I'd love to. I mean, every statement sounds fucking just bad at this point. I want your wooden balls, Matt. I want your wooden balls.
I mean, it's not
I'll
like
have
you're
to
saying
make
you
a
want his
couple. I
wooden
gotta
balls
do a
in your
couple
mouth.
prototyping, but
Yeah.
because it's probably going to be a lot of focusing on, like, I think the wood aspect is probably going to be the easiest, because obviously it's just a ball.
I wonder though. I wonder if you could do lights, like, but have it like battery powered. Like if you were to make it so that way there was like a section that you could pull open, like on the
Yeah.
bottom, and you could fit like a battery pack or something.
Or what I would have to do is basically where it doesn't open up, it would
Yeah.
stay closed.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, either way, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that turns out.
So I'll keep up with my Instagram.
Oh yeah.
What's the Instagram, man? I need a shameless plug right now, mid podcast.
DevotedSaintRetro on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Cool. Yeah, we'll put the links down below. You guys can go check out his shop and see some of his other cool stuff for now. But follow up with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll start recording some videos on how I'm going to make it. So maybe you'll see that on my YouTube channel also, which is very
Twitch
small.
Twitch it, do everything.
People would totally dog on that shit, man. It'd be awesome. Yeah. This next bit here, more PlayStation exclusives are coming to PC, starting with Days Gone this spring. We've already had Horizon Zero Dawn, which was the start. Sony has revealed that more PlayStation exclusives are on their way. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan has revealed in GQ interview that more of the console's first-party exclusives will make their way onto the PC. Days Gone sometime this spring. That game is pretty cool. I don't think I ever finished it on PS4, but this is just exciting. It seems like Sony's finally like loosening up their reins a little bit. You know, like not everybody has a console, not everybody has a PC. So, you know, and I've always thought of it this way, like PC gamers aren't competing with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like the middle ground. Just like that's why Xbox kind of partnered with, you know, Microsoft partnered with PCs, and they're like, you can get Xbox Game Pass on Xbox, you can also get it on PC
and Switch.
And oh, that's right, you can get it on Switch, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they started.
It's like
where
certain
you can
territories, right?
You can link your Xbox Live account with Minecraft on the Switch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's only like game specific right now.
Yeah.
Eventually
they want to put the Xbox. They want to put Xbox Game Pass on the Switch.
Dude, that'd be so fucking awesome. There's some cool games I'd love to play on that. Yeah. So I think like that was always my thought. It's like PC isn't competing. They're not in the console war. They are kind of like in the middle. And you shouldn't really punish people for not like buying your Sony console because they prefer to play on PC.
And it's only Sony who's the one that's really been fucking everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nintendo and Microsoft have been open to be like, yeah, let's do cross-play. Let's do cross-save. Like, fucking Witcher 3 was released on fucking it was on PC. They had it on consoles, and then they brought it to Nintendo Switch, and they're like, guess what, guys? We also got cross-save, so you can play from the PC to the Switch and keep your save completely in
Same
use.
thing with Minecraft. They were one of the first. Fortnite, Minecraft, Rocket League. Those were the
Rocket League, also,
That one too,
games that were cross-platform between the Switch, Xbox, and PC, and even the PlayStation. But even then, PlayStation was like, I don't know if I like that.
I know. And the thing is, like, Sony's gonna make money because people are still gonna buy the fucking games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I have a PlayStation 4, and that's only because of the exclusives.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at too. To be honest with you,
I play like maybe 2 or 3 games on it a year, if that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the last game I think I played on my PlayStation 4 was Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I did Kingdom Hearts. I think it was for me.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm. And
How was that? I
and
never
The
played
Last
it.
of Us 2. Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, Last of Us 2. I'm lying. That was actually the last game that we played, which is hilarious. I could do a whole Twitch if I did, like of just my wife playing it and watching her literally jump every time a zombie attacked her or whatever, and then literally throw the remote at me. Like, kill them! She just likes to go around exploring shit, and then when like shit hits the fan, when shit hits the fan,
man, I ain't about this life.
Yeah, just like I ain't about this. Throw. It's like it's crazy.
That's a good tag team though. So she does the exploring and you do the killing.
That
Yeah,
is
what's
pretty-
funny because the exploring. I mean, like for some people, for me, it's I just like I'm too OCD, man. I got to hit every corner to find every fucking collectible individual item completion at 100%. So she does that part for me, where I'm just like,
Get to
I don't
do
have
the
the
fun
patience
part.
anymore. Yep.
Yeah,
But I agree with you
feel
though.
it.
I really do. I've owned every like console since Nintendo, legitimately. Like, so I
Yeah.
was never part of like the console war, but at the
Yeah.
same time I felt it, and I'm just like, why? This is so dumb. Like, I really gotta,
You
pay
spend all
X,
this money.
spend all this money just to get access to God of War, whatever it was. And now what I'm seeing is exactly kind of what you're saying
Mhm.
right now. It's just it's really integrating, and now that I have like a better piece, it's just crazy. It's just like with my piece, like I can just everything is not kind of on here now. All the relevant games are, I
Yeah.
think it's going to slowly phase that way, and it's going to be all
Yeah.
there.
I
Oh,
haven't
yeah, I mean-
I like the last couple of years I was like, should I buy an Xbox? And then Xbox Game Pass came out and I was just like, nah, man, it's over. Like I
Yeah.
won't ever need to own an Xbox anymore. And I love that
Mhm.
with Microsoft. Like I can get all the games that they come out with on there. I can play them on there. The only one is Sony that's like kind of holding back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see like, the most recent God of War on PC. I still haven't played
I
Horizon
would
Zero
love to see the
Dawn.
mods on that.
Yeah, dude, like that's the cool thing is also like on PC you have access to mods, like whether it's
Yep.
graphical or aesthetic. There's a lot of cool stuff like that. I think we got what was this one?
Horizon Zero
Yeah,
Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn. We got Days Gone, and I would love to see like the Uncharted series on PC.
Oh man, yeah. See, the
You
thing
know?
is with PC too is just the frame rate. Like I can tell you from
Yeah.
someone who played the games cross-platform, like Fortnite on my PS4 on my whatever 32-inch all the way to 55-inch, depending on what TV I'm playing on.
Mm.
It's trash compared to my 240 hertz monitor on my PC. It's running
Exactly.
300.
Yeah.
It's aesthetically you can't even compare the two.
It's no
Like
contest.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine Cyberpunk. Like a game like that kind of
Yeah.
deserves to be on PC. I could already tell you just from like what I've
Yeah.
seen.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I think, yeah, graphically, frame rate wise, I think like there's so many pluses that we can see like in the future, seeing some of these games coming to PC. It'd just be like an entirely smoother experience. Plus, like if you can play, you can play mouse and keyboard on PS4 currently, but nobody really does that.
Mhm.
But I play mouse and keyboard on the PC. Like I only use a controller on the PlayStation because it's just easier that way.
Yeah.
But
I
on
mean, you
PC,
could use
I
a
prefer mouse and
use a
keyboard.
controller though on a PC. There's nothing stop. You could
Oh
literally
yeah,
do.
I've done it.
Yeah,
Do it all
I
the
have.
time.
There are certain games that I prefer to use. Like I use my Xbox Elite controller for certain games, like
Mm.
for driving and stuff. Like in Cyberpunk, like I'll use mouse and keyboard when I'm running around, but when I get into a car, I'll use the controller and drive around with that. There's certain stuff I think that works really well that way. But I would just love to be able to get that smooth, like accuracy with a mouse on,
Yeah.
playing like The Last of Us or something like that. Shooting.
Yeah. I could.
It's just
Yeah.
so great.
The only game I would ever really consider buying on the PC that's a PlayStation exclusive is definitely God of War. Like
Yeah.
I actually really love the last one.
The
And
last one was amazing. Like
It pains me to say it.
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
brother-in-law is the biggest God of War fan ever.
I
He
still
has
need to
the
finish it. I never finished it.
He has the 7-foot Kratos in his house.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's
take a
like wait.
picture
So does he classify it as a sex doll or as a
I was
dependent on
gonna
his
say.
taxes? Like, what does he do here? Like, how do you?
Did you say he's claim him as a
amazing.
dependent on his taxes?
Listen, that hole in the back was there when he bought it.
That's
Yeah.
He considers
I'm-
it his mascot
livid.
for his business.
Honey,
Oh my
you've been
God.
cleaning Kratos for too long. Don't you judge me!
Yeah. Oh my god. There's a lot of really cool games I would love to see come to the PC. I'm gonna finish reading this out. So it says Sony's seemingly suddenly decision to bring more of its games on PC was first announced with Horizon Zero Dawn, as we mentioned, which launched to a myriad of issues with Guerrilla Games and they're continuing working on fixing that game. Which I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy the game because I was like, oh, now there's all those issues that they're trying to work out. But Ryan explained to GQ that the decision to bring more PlayStation exclusives to PC was fairly straightforward. Was it, though? It took you a while to get to that point. Noting the appetite for the company's first-party content on PC, we find ourselves now in early 2021 with development studios and the games that they make in better shape, and they're better shape than they've ever been before. Particularly from the latter half of the PS4 cycle of our studios made some wonderful, great games, said Ryan. There's an opportunity to expose those great games to a wider audience and recognize the economics of game development, which are not always straightforward. The cost of making games goes up with each cycle as the caliber of the IP was improved. Also, our ease of making it available to non-console owners has grown. As for Horizon Zero Dawn launch, Ryan said there wasn't a massive adverse reaction from PlayStation fans to seeing the game on PC. It seems to have done well there, though Ryan didn't offer any specifics. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. You know, we got Days Gone coming in spring. We already got Horizon Zero Dawn, which they're working on fixing, and we'll see what else kind of comes following that. So, this next bit, anybody want to read this one? AJ? You haven't read anything yet. I'm so disappointed in you.
Volunteer you as tribute.
Yeah. Not again. All right.
Offer you as a sacrifice. I mean, we love you.
What happened to the white guy? So, Sony winds down.
Andre ate him.
Yeah, I ate him. That's it. There we go again. Blaming the cunt. Oh, God damn it.
Andre said he needed protein. I said, I got a small penis. He said, I said,
5 grams of protein. I'll take it. Little breakfast sausage. I'll take it. Brown and serve. White and serve.
Stop complimenting me. So, so we get to Sony winds down. Actually, I heard about this. Sony winds down Japan's studio to focus on Astro's Playroom team. So the studio had worked out several iconic PlayStation titles. Sony's confirmed that their studio in Japan, its internal video game developer based in Tokyo, will essentially wind down and refocus around a single team in a statement to IGN. So Japan Studio said as of April 1st, it'll be recentered to Team Asobi. That's the creative team behind Astro's Playroom, allowing the team to focus on a single vision and build on the popularity of Astro's Playroom. In other words, get ready for more Astro games, which actually, if they're half as good as I hear that they are, I'm excited for that. I need to get my PS5. Yeah. Astro's Playroom is a well-received title packaged with every PlayStation 5 console. It's a 3D platformer designed to show off the advanced haptic feedback and the new DualSense controller. Before that, the same team developed Astrobot Rescue Mission, widely considered to be the standout exclusive PlayStation VR title. So actually, I think that's really, really cool, even though that there's a big thing that's going on with the PlayStation 5 controllers where it's the same thing with Joy-Cons, the Xbox controllers. They're all getting the stick drift. But the fact that the PlayStation 5 has, more unique features, in my opinion, than the Xbox does, with the haptic feedback, you can actually push down on a trigger, and it does give you more of that pushback.
It's like a resistance, like force feedback kind of thing.
Right. So I think that's actually a little bit more interesting than the Xbox.
Whoa. Matt's calling a timeout here, guys.
Uh-oh.
No. He's saying Generation X.
I mean, okay, controller-wise, fine. I'll agree with you on that. The haptics, trigger feel, okay, cool. That's a cool feature, but it just sounds like it's just more things that are going to go wrong with the controller that you're going to have to buy a $80 controller.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, and that's kind of partly, I mean, not just that. That's not the only reason why I didn't buy a PS5, even though you can't get one anyway. But
that's probably the main one for me. Actually.
That's the main reason. But
I want to buy one, but where?
Right, but I also don't. You also can't find your wallet either. Did you find your wallet?
Penis. Pequeño.
I got micro penis and no watch. I am open shit.
No wallet. Oh my god.
no wallet, not watch. I got my watch here. See, this is what happened. I needed to strap my freaking wallet to my wrist. This way I can pay like debit card. All right, anyway.
I do have that on my watch where you can swipe your watch and then pay for whatever. It is pretty convenient. I like it. It's Android. I have it's a Fossil Android watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, the same thing. I got an Android watch too. I don't trust anything. I think already my freaking information's already out there enough with PayPal and Venmo and whatever else like that. I don't want to give any other company my shit because that's just gonna lead to disaster.
Exactly. Yeah.
Poor enough as it is. Leave me alone.
I would agree with Matt though. I think it does worry me a little bit about like I think it's a really cool feature. I think it might go. I feel like part of me feels like it's going to go the way how the touchpad went on the PlayStation 4 controller.
Yeah.
How like they start like a lot of the first party Sony titles used it, and then everybody else after that was just like, we'll use it as a map button. This is like, just.
But I mean, so I can see where you're coming from that. But if you figure it this way, right? It's the like the touchpad from the Wii U, right? When that first came out, nobody wanted that. Everyone's like, just give me a controller. Stop with these things, right? And I would agree with you that the touchpad on the PS4 was exactly that as well. It was the highlight of everything. But if you think about it, this makes a little bit more sense, right? Because what's as a gamer, what is the thing that you're looking for the most? Immersion. Right. So that's why people are becoming more into VR, like you and I were talking about. That's why, I think people at first were, big into the Switch because of the 3D controllers, even though we all know that that's just a bunch of bogus anyways. But now they're about on the go, right? So that's the selling point for that. The fact that PlayStation, you're probably right. It's probably going to get destroyed, and you're probably going to have to buy an expensive-ass controller regardless. But the fact that they're trying something new, not that, listen, cool. More lifelike features. And what else does it do?
Because I noticed
see the snot running out of their nose a little more clearly. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like some people compared it, like the feel of the resistance was like if you're pulling the trigger of a gun, it's got that resistance to it.
Yeah.
Before it clicks, like stuff like that, or like pulling the tension on like a bow and arrow, something like that. I think is really unique. Which this kind of like. I mean, this kind of sucks that this Japanese studio is closing, because there was a lot of titles being worked on under that. I think there was Ape Escape, Patapon, Loco Roco, and I think they were assisting with development on titles like Bloodborne and The Last Guardian last year. But before leaving last year, I guess they were responsible for Siren and Gravity Rush games. So. I don't know. It sucks, but the Astro games are pretty cool. The one thing I wanted to say, because I meant to add that in here and I totally forgot to, was I pulled up Sony's blog, and they actually announced the PlayStation VR 2.
They did?
Wow.
Yes.
It was the state of play, right?
I don't know if it was it might have been during the state of play, but I saw the PlayStation blog. And it was just like an article talking about the next generation of VR systems coming for the PlayStation 5 console.
Oh.
Because like I have a PlayStation VR, but it's very dated in terms of like the tracking. It's only like a 180-degree tracking, and like whereas you have stuff like the Oculus Quest 2, and you have the Valve Index, and these like far superior ones with like, even the resolutions are like amazing in these, and you have.
Then those are freestanding. The Quest 2 is, anyways. I don't know about the Valve.
Valve Index is not. No, they don't have a wireless version or like a wireless adapter or anything for it yet. I would love to have that for my Index, but the Quest, you can use it standalone, or you can plug it into your computer, and like it's just very dated. Plus, you have the PSVR using the Move controllers, which came out during the era of PlayStation 3. Just like, come on.
That was a poor choice.
It was a very poor choice. Like they got something, and they somehow make it work. Like they made it work really well with like the Iron Man VR game. But aside from all of that, looking through that headset is like staring through a fucking rusty ass screen door.
You are 110% correct, because my brother-in-law has that, and I have the original Oculus Quest, and the comparison visually is two completely different systems.
Right.
One's stuck in the Stone Age, and one's like a Ferrari. One's a Honda Civic.
Yeah, and it's sad because PlayStation VR does have some really cool games on there. Like what was it? Blood and Truth was a really cool like shooter one. That was, like this mafia / James Bond like adventure that you go on and stuff like that. Shit was cool. But I would love to see, what they're going to do with the new one. And actually, AJ talking about the dual sense controllers with those haptic feedback and stuff. They're going to be supposedly using that as like part of the input for the controllers on the PlayStation VR 2.
See, that would be dope. Talk about immersion, because you get more of the feel and everything. So
Yeah.
that makes sense to me.
I think that's going to be really unique, considering that like the Index has like the finger tracking. It's also got tension on the grips, so like depending on how hard you squeeze will affect like certain gameplay things. Like there was like the hand demo thing or whatever that's part of like the lab for Valve, and you can like squeeze and it shows the meter going up, or you can like crush rocks or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like some cool stuff like that, but I think they're going to be using like a way better resolution, it seems, a better field of view, tracking and input, and they'll be able to connect to the PS5 with a single cord to simplify the setup and improve ease of use. So currently, like with the PSVR, you got this huge breakout box that plugs into the back of the console, plugs into the TV. Then you have the headset plugged into wherever on the breakout box. It's just like this like obnoxious setup.
I'll stick to my Quest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you have a Quest, AJ?
Yeah. Dude, I love that thing. Yeah, I got the first generation. Literally, was it Matt and I bought it around the same time. It hasn't been out for a year, or it has been out for only a year, and the second one is already out, more powerful. It's like, but it's like when you can buy like a cell phone. It's like, oh, dude, I got the freaking, the 20. Oh, that's awesome, because the 25 came out. Why the hell did 22 to 24 come out? This is bullshit.
Yeah, and supposedly there's already rumors talking about doing a Quest 3. It's just like, dude, the Quest 2 literally came out like not even 6 months ago. Like, give it a fucking rest already.
The quest never ends, man. Quest never ends.
Gotta keep the quest going, bro.
Come on, it's like side missions in The Witcher 3, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Infinite.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The Bloody Baron never ends. But yeah, no, this is exciting to see like what Sony's doing. It seems like there's a bunch of really cool stuff on the cusp. But I think they said this VR headset isn't going to be coming this year, and possibly not even next year. I think they're probably looking at like 2022 or 2023 is my guess. It's all kind of speculation at this point. So, I was going to go through this. I don't know if we have enough time though. Maybe we'll save this for another one. But we did have this last bit here, which I thought was really fucking cool, was this incredibly rare Sega arcade system was found in a rotting field. I put the links down below if you wanted to pull it up. Dude, this thing is fucking cool as shit.
I'm looking at it right now, and that's nuts. Like that's.
Yeah. And then there's a video down below in the article that actually shows a working one. But it's the Sega R360. Was perhaps the most bombastic example of the company's 1980s arcade flex, a cabinet that only supported 2 games and of which only 200 units were ever made of this thing. So it's just like this just goes to show like Sega was so ahead of their time back in the 80s and 90s. Like they were thinking of like the craziest shit, but people were just not ready for it.
You think about the Dreamcast, you think about like you're talking about the Dreamcast dropped and you know what I mean, it was combating with the consoles of now, you know what I mean, PlayStation 1 at that time. It was right. It was ahead. Sega's done phenomenal thing.
Way better. They even
Sega
had
the handheld. The handheld that was essentially a Switch. I forget the name of it. Do you remember? It was
Game Gear.
Yeah, Game Gear. Like they were there, but like you said, it just they were ahead of their time. Yeah, it just didn't.
I remember I think we had the Dreamcast. We also had, before that, I think we had the Sega Saturn, which was really cool. Like they had some really unique games and stuff on there.
Yeah.
But Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
I had both. I could tell you that they dropped classics on really all of them, man. It was great.
My brother-in-law was
they all slightly varied, I think, depending on like what console you were playing. Like the games had certain things that were in some that weren't in others, or the graphics were slightly different or something. Yep. But it was funny too. Like you look at the box art on some of those, and they put the box art of like the Sega Saturn, but they'd be playing it on one of the other consoles that didn't look as good, and you're like, it doesn't look like that on there. What the fuck?
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That was their
um,
slogan
Yeah.
during
yeah,
the
that's true.
SNES and the Genesis
Oh yeah.
console war.
Man, console wars are still going on. It's like the war of Iraq going on for fucking like
Literally.
forever.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
between Sony and Microsoft.
yeah,
I,
exactly.
I mean, personally, if it was up to me and if console exclusives weren't a thing, I'd be playing Xbox all day long. But like, I think if you have two systems that are very similar, I think you could argue that PS4 Pro was better than the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
But I personally think the Xbox Series X is better than the PS5.
hmm
But that's just on paper. I don't know. I don't have either one, so I can't
Right. I
compare.
think a lot of
Yeah.
the specs for the next gen consoles are very similar, honestly.
Yeah, that's
They're
usually how
so
it pans
similar,
out.
but
Yeah.
it's like if
They,
you
I'm
look,
pretty.
look
Yeah,
on
I'm pretty.
paper, like the Xbox Series X is better.
Yeah, I've heard that from people. I think like essentially they're a lot of the same components. Like the graphics cards they use in them are I think they're the AMD or ATI Navi cards. They're like the little miniature kind of
Yeah, I
graphics
think the
cards.
Xbox One is completely built from the ground up from Microsoft.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Actually, I got a funny story between Xbox and PlayStation. I used to work at a GameStop back when PlayStation 3 came out.
Wow.
I remember a guy coming into my
It's a
store.
rough era.
Actually got a lot of stories from this. But I
You're limited to one.
remember a guy coming in. I was working the day, and a guy comes in and he drops like $600 on a PlayStation 5 with an extra controller and I think a game or something like that.
Wait,
He
PlayStation
leaves.
5?
What?
Say
Not
PlayStation 5?
PS3. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I
He's a
remember
time
when those.
traveler.
I knew there was something about him. Yeah, no, I
Oh.
remember when those came out. They had them. I remember they had the Metal Gear like edition that was like
Yeah.
going for like over $1,000 on eBay.
Yeah, well,
Those
this was
big
before
thick
they had
ones.
the editions or anything like that. But anyway,
Hmm.
I remember the guy leaving, coming back in 2 minutes later, and he comes in and says, "Yo, anybody got $1?" I'm like, "You just bought a PlayStation and games." He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't have any money for the bus." So he had
Wow.
to ask people for money to get on the bus, even though just bought the PlayStation.
For $600. Jesus, man. Get your
The man
fucking
who thinks
priorities straight.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Me and my boss were just sitting there. We're like, "Wait, what?"
That's fucking wild, man. What's fucking wrong with people?
Like the goal to come back into the store where you just bought your PlayStation 3 to ask people for $1 so you can get on the bus.
That kid's going places, not on the bus, but he's going places.
He had to walk the whole way fucking home, but he's going places.
He's going places. Not fast, but he's going places.
There was another time where we were sitting there and we were talking. San Andreas came out, and this 16-year-old kid comes up
Great.
to us and is like, "Hey, I want to buy it." And we're like, "Nah, you can't buy it, dude. You need to have a parent come here with you." And he's like, so my boss says underneath his breath, just to me, he's like, "It'd be really funny if he gets his mom to honk three times." And all of a sudden, the kid runs to the front of the store, runs outside, talks to his mom that's sitting in the car, and all we hear is honk, 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 and we're like,
Oh my god.
"We need to sell him this game now." Like that's just hysterical. We talked about that for like 3 months. It was hysterical. We were like,
That's great.
as soon as he left and it started getting dead in the store, we were just dying laughing. We were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that actually happened."
Oh my god, that's amazing. All right, let's finish this up real quick here.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Well, damn.
Matt says no, so we can't go on. I'm sorry.
The beard has spoken.
The spoken. I think for people who aren't like watching or looked at the article or anything, this is like a really cool Sega like arcade system though. Like what was unique about this back in the 80s was it's like it was like you sit in this ball, essentially. You sit in a ball. And it's on like this huge gyro, and it's like like those arcade like flight simulators. So the thing like goes all the way upside down and side to side and shit. There was only 2 games, I think there's only 2 games supported. It was 1990s G-Lock Air Battle, followed by Wing War in 1994. While most of the surviving R360s are being preserved in collections of arcades, one has been sitting outside in a farm in Northern Ireland. Oh, that's where it is. Northern Ireland. I skipped over that. For ages, just rusting away like something out of Stalker or Simon Stalinog's painting. Lee Peters, a member of a Facebook group dedicated to the R360, found the cabinet in 2020, but only recently returned for a second look and took the photos you're seeing in this post. It was apparently the centerpiece of a nearby arcade in its prime, but before being shuffled onto the farm for storage by its owner, who never returned to pick it up. It sadly doesn't look like much is left to salvage here, especially since being exposed to the elements like this would have cooked any piece of electronics or wiring in the machine, but hey, maybe somebody can strip back some of its frame and kind of restore some of the structure of the cabinet. So that was really cool. All right, let's move on to the new and upcoming releases. I think this one actually came out today, was Bravely Default 2, available on Switch, February 26, 2021. Bravely Default 2 is a successor to the original Bravely Default game and will have players embark on a new story in a new world featuring all new heroes of light. The first one I know got a lot of really good reviews. I'd like to definitely play through this one and the second one. Next one is Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. I know AJ's super excited about this one. Available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, Switch, and PC. This is another one, though. Like, Crash Bandicoot was always a Sony property, and it's actually coming to PC and Xbox now, which is really cool.
Yep. Yeah, they did that with the release of the first 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was like the collection, right?
That was Vicarious Visions.
Remastered.
It's not Naughty Dog anymore.
Yeah, which is so odd, man. It's so odd to see that move on from Naughty Dog.
Because Naughty Dog is a Sony IP.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Mojang is an Xbox IP, but they don't care. They'll put them on anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. So keep an eye out for that one. That was March 12, 2021. Samurai Showdown, available on Xbox Series X/S, March 16, 2021. I think it's already out on PC, and I think some other consoles already. This is the next generation version of the weapon-based fighting franchise, now with 3D graphics to represent the characters in traditional side-scrolling fighting combat. And then the last one, Disco Elysium, the final cut, available on PS4, PS5, PC, and Switch, March 2021. There's still no set date. I've been like trying to follow the updates on this one, but this one was already out, I think, on a lot of the consoles. I think it's even already out on Switch, but this one, basically, the final cut introduces full voice acting for all the characters in the entire game. Because there's a lot of writing and reading in the game. So I think this is going to be like a really neat feature to go back to this game. And this game's about a detective who wakes up in a rundown coastal district with a banging headache and only a few dregs of memory left. You set out to discover what happened to him inside the unique world we have created. And I just remember like watching some of the playthroughs. You wake up in like a bathroom, like covered in vomit and just in your underwear. Like where the
typical Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I usually live my Friday nights out. I'm not even wearing pants right now.
I knew it.
The beauty of webcam.
That just reminded me. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but it was like a news anchor that I think got caught.
Yeah,
like,
I think
I don't think he got in much trouble, but like he had the webcam on and he was wearing like the suit upper, but he was just wasn't wearing any pants and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, man, fucking pandemic has done crazy shit to crazy people. And exactly. Is there any releases that you guys were looking forward to that I didn't mention or anything?
I didn't have anything out there. Not really myself. I feel like my mind was so figured on the Pokemon that I figured out today, but my releases are way set out in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't find a ton, out there right now. So I mean, we'll
I mean,
just
the only one that I'm looking forward to is Snap.
Oh
It comes,
yes,
it comes
that's
out in
gonna
2
be
months.
amazing.
when
When
is
does
that
that come
coming
out?
out?
That comes out April, no?
April, yeah, April. What? I want to say 20th. I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
played the original Snap. That game was so much fun. I'm picking this one up.
Yep.
That's cool. I remember playing that on N64. That was a really fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's time for our pixel to pixel. Now I'm going to explain what our pixel to pixel is. We're reaching out to streamers, YouTubers, podcasters, prop game merch creators, artists, developers, journalists, reviewers, anything. We're
Anyone
looking
in
at
the industry.
anybody in the gaming industry, anything. You do something in the gaming industry, hit us up. We're looking to help people get recognized, connect them with others so help them get started or kind of improve their channel of some sort. Or, we want to bring people on and interview them, kind of like I'm about to interview Dre here and talk about what he does, who are experienced in the industry, who can help those who are interested, maybe get some insight on how to get started with a channel or something. Personally, we all know how difficult it can be to get started doing something, whether it's a podcast or content creator, streamer, whatever. If you don't know how to do it, it can be daunting. It could be very, very difficult to get a grasp on like how to do it. Or if you're, sometimes nervous about doing it because you're afraid of being judged, well, we're not going to judge you here. This is a resource to help you guys get over that. Whether you're looking to do it with somebody, so that way maybe you don't want to do it by yourself, but you want to link up with somebody that you can do like a joint stream with. Maybe that's something that's interesting.
Soon we'll have a Discord for it.
Yes,
Nice. Yeah.
Matt's doing a lot of the legwork on the Discord, so that way we can get one central location to get people to come into the forums, and they can kind of post stuff or look for answers on certain things.
Or link up for streams. Work on a podcast. Come on a podcast. Learn a little bit about what, say, like I do, or a little bit what Leslie does. And if we don't know anything like that, like you want to do somebody that does YouTube, I mean, we're all pretty much jacks of all trades and everything in this kind of area. But like obviously you're more prevalent in streaming, AJ is more prevalent. I mean, Keith is more prevalent in podcasting, AJ is more in the retail business. We figure it out and we can help everybody grow. And if you want like-minded people, we want to shout out, link up, and have some fun. I mean, perfect example is Keith. I mean, we have our group of little group of friends with Leslie, Just Your Average Channel, and you've come in, and we've pretty much you're one of the big pillars of the group.
Well, not that big of a pillar. I mean,
I appreciate that, Matt. I really do. Yeah, it's been really awesome to, I mean, this is what I'm talking about and what Matt's talking about. Like, I wouldn't have, met up with these guys if it weren't for me trying to reach out and kind of start some of this, rumblings and be like, hey, why is it so complicated to get somewhere on your channel or on Instagram or whatever? And so I reached out to Leslie, and she was like, that's a really good idea. She's like, I was actually talking about doing something like this a couple of years ago, and it just kind of fizzled out or whatever. And so I think a lot of us are in that place where we're like, no, we're going to do this. We're in a better place to do it. We're in a better headspace. We know a lot more about how to do it. We have a direction of some sort of where we actually want it to go now. So yeah, it's really exciting to meet up with like-minded people like these guys and just collaborate and do fun shit and talk about games and just geek out about retro shit. It's fucking awesome,
Yeah.
So, and we want to be able to do this stuff with you guys and see you guys grow. That puts a smile on my face. We see people trying to promote people on Instagram, DM me to promote blah blah blah, $65 a month. Fuck you, no. We're not asking for a fucking dime. We're asking for you to trust us and for you to believe in what we're trying to do, and that's what we want. So I've spoken my piece. So
he has spoken.
Continue with the interview.
This is the way.
Yes.
This is the way.
So yeah, you can message me at digital_denizens on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at Digital Denizens. AJ, what are your links? We can put them in real quick here.
Basically all the same. Facebook is all for gamers. Instagram is all for gamers. I don't use Twitter because people are cray cray on there. So you could also direct message me through allforgamers@outlook.com. That's my business email if you have any questions or concerns, any questions about small peepees, we can always answer.
I was about to say dick pics. Come on, I was about to say.
It's kind of un pequeño dick pics.
Pequeño.
Don't worry, file size will never be too large in AJ's case. It'll never be too large.
What, 2 kilobits ain't big enough? Come on.
2 kilo.
Oh my god. Did you link your store, AJ, as well?
Oh, that's it's such a stupid asinine name. Just go to allforgamers.com. The link for the store is right on the left-hand side. You'll be able to see all the cool gaming items that we have there. Again, I talk about the tiny arcades, which I personally find, to be pretty cool. It's definitely a blast from the past, from the 80s and 90s. And again, I do the YouTube videos on there as well.
Yeah, they're awesome. The tiny arcades, you can use them in the back seat of your car when you're playing with your woman. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out which one you're trying to.
Those fingers.
you can put them in your pocket and play with it there. I don't know.
Yes, pocket pool is
Pocket
always
pool.
fun.
Yeah.
Not pocket pool, it's pocket pinball.
Oh,
It's even more complex and more fun.
yeah.
You also have the link in your bio on Instagram as well, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Matt, what are your links you can plug?
DevotedSaintRetro.com.
Mhm.
Devoted Saint Retro on Instagram. Devoted Saint Retro on Facebook. I'm thinking about streaming some build videos, possibly on YouTube. So just check out on YouTube also Devoted Saint Retro.
Cool.
And yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff there, and I also do have a physical area in a store locally on Long Island.
Mhm.
It's in Comac called Devotion. So I do have a physical space in a store, which is pretty cool. Just spent my first month there. It was quite funny. The other day I walk in just to go check out the store and make sure everything looks good. And somebody was like, "What about this? Do you have this?" I was like, "Yeah, just take it." She's like, "Oh, okay." It kind of worked out.
Oh, that's not a display. That's the real one.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really
So it was
cool.
pretty
No,
cool.
that's awesome. To have a local, it's cool to talk to
Yeah.
people online and send people, that want to buy stuff online, but
Yeah.
it's also cool to network with people locally and do that
Yeah,
kind
and
of
it's
thing.
also nice to see it in person too,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
because pictures can only do some things certain justice. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I want to make a few quick mentions before we get into the interview with Andre. So these are just people that we're collaborating with. Obviously, I'm working with AJ, working with Matt. Sure we'll be working with Dre in the future. We got I've been on Just Your Average channel with Chad and Chris. They have their podcast. They also have a couple other channels, Fanboy and the Snob, which they talk about TV and movies and comics and stuff like that. Just Your Average channel is just kind of like an open podcast. They do talk about games, but it's kind of also relevant and non-relevant topics. It's kind of like an open floor. It's madness, but it's still it was a great time being on their podcast last Monday. So keep an eye out for them. Let's see. You can find them on Instagram at JYA channel and find the link in their bio to get. They got a link tree that goes to all their content. Spotify, Apple, Google, Overcast, and then also their video content on Twitch and YouTube. We got let's see, Leslie over at Sector 7 Item Shop. She's got game related merch and art that she makes. You can find her shop over at Instagram at Sector 7 Item Shop, and she's also got a link tree in her bio that will take you to her shop, and you can find something. Go down Sector 7 Slums, find the item shop on the left, walk in, get something, get out. if you're not going to buy anything, just don't even bother going in. We got another Twitch streamer here, Vile Shrew. He does Twitch streaming and YouTube content creation. He's been on the show before, and he'll probably be on the show at some point again. You can find him at twitch.tv/vileshrew and youtube.com/vileshrew. And last one, Omega Carotene. He creates gaming related art as well. He does some really cool like mashes of like Final Fantasy VII and Star Wars, like the Darth Maul Moogle. There was like a wall art thing that he did on there that was really cool. I think Leslie kind of knows him a little bit too. But yeah, you can find him at Omega Carotene and shop in the link there, and you can find all his stuff too. All right, so let's get into the questions. State your name and date of birth, Andre.
All right. Really? Social security too, and card number.
Yeah, that's right. What's your PIN to your bank? What's your handle on Instagram and Twitch and all that stuff?
Sure. My Instagram is, so I'm a boomer. I didn't have, like, believe it or not, like up until like 5 years ago, I never even had like Facebook or any social media. Then I hopped onto Instagram and I kind of never looked back. But so yeah, for Instagram it's fingers421. My Twitch is twitch.tv/fingers421.
Cool.
That's all I got for now. I'm looking into, everyone's been telling me I got to get onto the YouTube game. Funny enough, obviously I know YouTube preceded Twitch, but I never really got onto it because I'll kind of get into this. I get a little bit later with the content, and one of the things that hindered me is I didn't want to have to think about it too much. You know what I mean? Versus just kind of doing it. So I felt like YouTube, because it was after the fact and you're uploading, already made edited videos or whatever. I was like, hey, I didn't get into it, but I think I might upload, because it just saves your past broadcasts on Twitch. So I might just download them and upload them to YouTube and make
that probably wouldn't be too hard to do.
Yeah,
but you can also go to your Twitch channel and watch previous streams and stuff too. So
exactly, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's always better to have more platforms, because you're always going to get more outreach. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So all right, let's get into the nitty gritty here. Andre, so you do Twitch, mostly just Twitch stuff, right? As we just kind of went over that stuff. How did you come up with your name?
So that one, it's funny. I don't know if I can tell the full story with my wife next door, but it was actually a middle school name dubbed to me. Fingers, because I have these really, really long fingers, and like I was
sure they're useful, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're very useful. Like I was that kid that could always just palm a basketball and everything. Yeah, but then it came down to really I was playing video games, and how there were certain games where you had to tap like a fucking maniac or whatever, and you're over there holding the controller in off angles, just hammering away. That skill became very useful as I hit puberty, and I realized in Mario Party. In other aspects of life, that skill became more useful. But then it was really a friend of mine in middle school that just literally dubbed me Fingers. And I kid you not, that has went on. Because back then I've been gaming, right? So it was I created names in every single thing, whether it was Steam or whatever. It was I just kept spamming Fingers. I was like, oh, what name? And it stuck. It's been there literally 20 years later. It's nuts.
That's super cool, man. Yeah, it's definitely unique, Yeah. That's awesome. Let's see. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on with the DMCA stuff, the takedowns and streaming on Twitch. What are your thoughts on a lot of that stuff right now?
So it's I get it. Don't get me wrong. I totally get the reasoning behind it, but I do agree that it limits a lot of what you can do sometimes. For me, for instance, if I could put sound effects in, I'm not huge into editing videos. I kind of just mentioned, I just kind of like to be live in the moment and be me and
talking to people and being more interactive.
Exactly. Yeah. But at the same time, if I could put a sound cue that wouldn't, infringe on, funny sound cues from a song or from whatever, I would love to just edit that in without having to worry about, some sort of copyright infringement or, even saying something that could be coined by somebody else, it's tough. It really does limit some of
Yeah.
the natural reaction, because I mean every day who doesn't quote a line? How many lines have we quoted, you know,
Right.
here alone? You know, it's just it sucks from that standpoint, but I do think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because there's a lot of disclaimers that I'm learning now that you can just kind of
Mhm.
throw in, gives you kind of full access to say whatever, unlike other aspects of life, you know. You don't
Yeah.
get you can't assume, you know, that there's permission, but you know, it's kind of those things that help you out. That's the light, I think, for now. I don't know. It's one of those tricky subjects, because like arguably right now, one of the
Mhm.
catchphrases I've been using, I have no idea if it exists out there. I've been using "stop the cap." It's a new word apparently. Cap means you're lying, and I do it. It's my new emote on Twitch. Like
Oh,
people
that's
love it.
awesome.
I have people that join in that I don't even know that have followed me on Twitch, and like, we love your personality, and they just spam "stop the cap" because apparently I say it so much. So I was just
That's fucking cool, man.
If you don't
So-
coin it and put it on a t-shirt, you'll
That's what
never
I'm
get the royalties.
Yeah, you need to patent that shit before somebody takes it.
funny enough, my wife made an emote of it, because that's a good thing about Twitch, and I'll go into this if you guys want me to a little bit later. But Twitch, one of the benefits of being like, when you get to the affiliate level, you get to create your own emote. So when you upload that
Oh,
emote,
yeah.
mind you, it's something that Twitch has and everything, but it's a stop sign with a cap in the middle, you know, for stop the cap, stop
That's
the cap.
fucking cool.
But she
Stop the
legit
cap.
she just made it that way. But
I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fucking cool. How did you fall into content creation and streaming? Like, what made you want to do it? And do you see this as like long term, or is this kind of more like just a side hobby thing just for fun?
So that one, it's kind of funny. I've always thought about it, and I'm sure I can tell you probably everyone, including you guys. You guys have probably been in the same category where you just thought about it. You're like, I could do that. Like, you know, you're watching these streamers, you're like, that guy's funny, but like, you come up with a better zinger sometimes. I mean, think about the
Mhm.
dumb, funny shit we've said. I would argue all of us should be like, you know, fucking ninjas or whoever the, you know, top you
Yeah.
watch. And it's like, so I really always wanted to be in content creation. I could always say that, but it was one of those things where, like, I also grew up in like I don't want to say a conservative household, but it's on, you know the age. It was kind of weird. It was like,
Yeah.
you don't put yourself out there that much. You don't want to have your information out there and all that stuff. And then
Yeah.
everything's digital. It's kind of like, why not? Other
Yeah.
people are doing it. It's so easy. It doesn't take,
It
you know,
is,
there was a lot of, I think, predisposition that I had, that it was difficult, but I've always wanted to do it. And then now that I felt like I had the vehicle to do it, the pandemic gave the little bit of extra time. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let me just do it. Pull the trigger, and
Mhm.
it's kind of been shooting off, to be honest with you. I know some people that went to get affiliate, which is not, it's not a ridiculously hard goal. You need like 50 followers, a certain amount of average viewers consistently to get it. But like,
Mhm.
there are people that have spent over a year and have gotten it. And I was able to get it in a month, and I'm like, wow, I guess people want to watch me, you know? So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, again, I mean, you have that persona, that personality that like people probably gravitate to. You
Yeah.
know, you're funny, you're charismatic. I think that like has a lot to do with like, you know, doing a stream. You know, like people are looking for that type of thing.
And that's literally what it. And what's crazy is that, like, I've always been told, like, you know, yeah, you're kind of animated, kind of what you said, like, you're
Yeah.
animated, dude. Why aren't you on YouTube? Why aren't you on this? So,
Mhm.
initially, I really do see it as a side gig hobby. Obviously, I think it's everyone's dream that it could be a long term investment. I think that
Yeah.
who would say no to that? I mean, you're kind of
Right.
lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Just gotta
If
wait
it-
and see. Play it
Yeah.
by hand.
But
You know.
I'm kind of I'm following the just put content out there and see what
Mhm.
happens. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Just have fun with it while you're doing it.
yep.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What motivates you to keep streaming?
I mean, honestly, well, I really think it's gonna sound corny as hell, but it really is the interaction. Like, it's just,
Mhm.
like, there was one, I logged in, one person hosted me in Twitch. That means that they basically said like, hey, don't, I'm not online. Check out this person, and it kind of flooded my Twitch with like 20 viewers, people I've never met before, but they're over there, you know, just writing stuff in. We love your personality, your energy, this, that, the next, and it's kind of weird. It almost feels like you're putting on a show. I imagine it's like
Yeah.
what real performers feel like. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Comedian, yeah.
yeah, I felt like Tupac, man. I was like, I'm Coachella right now. This ain't a hologram. This is the real thing.
Now we know what happened to the real Tupac. He didn't leave. He didn't
Exactly.
die.
No, but
He
it
just
really-
went into hiding and went into streaming.
It really is, because well, the other thing is too is just that, like, one, I told you, it's a community. You get to play a lot, like, and you're meeting people that are obviously clearly interested in the same thing. You guys are having all, great conversation, and I'm gonna keep playing video games. I'm gaming until I die. That's a fact. So it's like at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep playing video games. Why would I want to do it and also have like this fucking network of people and just great, just great conversation, great shit going on. It's just funny. It's funny. It's great. It's fun. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I could see that. Like, yeah, definitely putting on like a comedy show, especially if you got a knack for it, like go for it. Might as well, like it's never too late to start. Any advice that you could give somebody that's looking to get into content creation or streaming?
So my advice, honestly, and I'm speaking of DMCA. I don't want to unquote him wrong, but there's a guy, Gary V. If you've ever heard of him, Gary.
I have. I've watched a lot of his stuff.
Exactly, me too. And I fucking love the guy. I love his energy. I'm of that mindset. Just do it. You gotta just do it. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, just do it. And at the end of the day, don't worry about the number of followers, the number of subscribers on a given day. Just fucking put out the content. I'm telling you, because you have to think about it, right? Even from a macro standpoint, there's 7 billion people. Obviously, I know not everyone has internet and shit like that, but like, just for the sake of my example, that's 7 billion people. There's going to be a niche amount of people that are going to be into your shit, into this podcast, into, whatever's going on. So just put out the content. If it's something you love and makes you happy, just fucking put it out there. See what happens.
I totally agree. Because I've explained to these guys, like, I started this podcast with my brother. It was something that I always wanted to do. And I was like, hey, let's do this together. He's into gaming. I mean, we've always been so close and always call each other and like play co-op games together. We live states away. So like, that's our way to communicate with one another. But he kind of was like, I don't really have the time to do it. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad, but like I can't do it anymore. Like maybe every once in a while. So I kind of fell off for like, kind of like right around when the pandemic hit. I was just like, I just don't I can't do this by myself. I don't have like, nobody wants to sit here and listen to me like fucking blabber on for like 2 hours about, games or whatever. Like most people who listen to podcasts, I feel like want to listen to a group like we're doing, like we're bantering back and forth. You want that camaraderie with one another. And so like, I didn't have anybody to do it with. So for like 6 months I fell off and I was just like, I don't really care if it goes anywhere. I'm fucking done, like.
Yeah.
But then, a buddy of mine reached out and he was like, hey, you're still doing the podcast? And I was like, no, I don't have anybody to do it with. He was like, I'll do it with you. So
Gotcha.
he was also like starting to run his own business. So like, it just all kind of snowballed and kind of happened all at once. But he was just like, I can't really do it anymore. I was having my cousin come on, who's a streamer who I mentioned, Vile Shrew. And so he was like coming on every once in a while. And then I started talking to Leslie and met these guys. And it was just like, domino effect after domino effect, and I was just like, I'm all in. Here we go.
That's
Fucking hitting the road running, and now I'm like got my full mindset on like where I want this to go, what I want it to be, and like it just happens. Like I don't know like how to even explain it, because I think I was more focused before on the numbers, like you were saying, and now I'm just like, fuck it, like I don't care. I'm doing this to have fun, and I want to like get other people involved.
Exactly. And it's amazing what happens when you finally let go of that, because I think that's what it is. That for me, the data, and I'm coming from an extremely data driven guy, the data is an anchor. That's what it is for now. You gotta drop that, let that go, see where the ship goes, and just let it hit the tides. Keep going, see what happens. Because I'm telling you, even on that note, same thing for me. I met like one other streamer, random person, legitimately via Twitch. They're like, "Hey, listen, I like your energy. Do you use this? Do you do that?" I ended up switching to another streaming platform. I was using Twitch Studios. They're like, no, you got to use Streamlabs. So I'm switching over to, and I switched over that all of a sudden. I'm just like, oh wow, this does have a lot more, options and things. But like, it's one of those things where if I stayed on Twitch Studio, maybe I was using not as much of animated content that shows up on my Twitch. I would have never known. Maybe I would have never gotten as many followers, and I would have been like, you know what, I'm over this. My followers are low, or my viewers are low, and I'm gonna move on. You know what I mean? But it's like you just stay the straight and narrow, see what happens, and then it, like you said, it snowballs. It just legitimately snowballs.
Exactly. Yeah, you just got to focus on what you want it to be, what you want to do with it, and just create, do the content, and make all that happen. Like it'll all follow suit after that.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing also, if I had to add on to that, is do shit you want to do. So a lot of people, like, I know that, and I could even say I've been quote unquote guilty of this, is that you can go on to Twitch and you could say, hey, the League of Legends has got the highest amount of viewers because Twitch does show you who's, the amount of viewers per kind of tag
Yeah.
that
Right.
it has there. But
Yeah.
you don't feel like playing League of Legends, don't play fucking League of Legends. You want
Right.
to play
Play what
fucking
you want to do.
you want to play Legend of Zelda, and that's got 100 viewers. So guess what? Maybe that 100 viewers will watch you. Like, you just
Right.
fucking play Legend of Zelda. Like, you don't have
Yeah.
to, you don't gotta conform to it. I think that's the beauty of this too, is that because
Mhm.
with Twitch, it's the vehicle that could give you even if it's 5, you got 5 people talking to you right now about that game. You never know who you meet. You
Mhm.
never know who these people are. You never know what their capabilities are. And I'm not saying you're doing it for the donations or anything like that, but like,
Right.
you don't know. This person could just very well think that, hey, Digital Denizens is amazing, and I want to fund this, and I want to do this, and I want to give you the support and tools you need to triple what you're doing right
Right.
now, or whatever. You literally never know. And
Exactly.
you operate under that premise. I think a lot of things will kind of happen that way.
Yeah, yeah. What was it like I think it was last weekend. I was watching a buddy of mine. He was Twitch streaming, I think it was Pokemon Red Nuzlocke.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing that, and he only had he started out had 8 or something like that, and then I messaged out on Instagram. I was just like, all right, this guy's trying to get to 200 subs in this stream, and he's gonna shave his head. Let's show this guy some love.
Yeah.
So I sent it all out on Instagram. I think AJ and Matt both kind of shared that stuff out too. But I was like, I don't care if the guy shaves his head or not.
I was
But
about
he
to
was
say, does
like,
he still have his hair?
he still has his hair. Yeah, I think it
Aw.
was for the whole month is what he's going for.
Sure.
So but it was just funny. He's very charismatic, and he made it fun for even the smaller amount of people that were in the chat, and it started bringing some people in, which was cool. And we were all just kind of going back and forth, and it was a really fun time.
Yeah.
Super cool. Let's see. What kind of gear would you say you would need to get started streaming on PC or console?
I mean, that's a tough. So for console, obviously, you're going to need more specific things. You're going to need a capture card. That I'm aware of. So you're going to need a capture card in order to do that. I honestly say your internet probably matters more than even your actual hardware, because you can run an i5. I've seen people stream on i3 processors that are
Mhm.
slow and old, but lo and behold, they still work. As long as you got decent graphics card. It depends on the build. You don't really need that much. You really don't. I think the internet, the upload speed can matter only due to the fact that if you've got choppy streams, at the end of the day, you could be the funniest guy in the world. You could be the most animated guy, but if it's showing up in
it's
bits
not
and pieces,
consistent.
it's gonna fall off. And again, not that you should
Mhm.
really worry too much about. That's the one thing I feel like you kind of have to. To be honest with you, the camera that I'm even using right now, I have no idea what kind it is. My wife she was kind of the vehicle behind me switching too. She was like, everyone tells you need a Twitch. Everyone tells you, because literally I'll play
Yeah.
Valorant, and 5 to 10 people will want to add me in game per day. And then they'll be like, oh, you're funny, dude. Let's play. Let's queue up again. Let's
Mhm.
whatever, that was hilarious. Whatever joke I made or whatever happened at the time. And she was like, I'm getting you a camera. I don't care. So she ordered some. I think this is a $50 camera. Couldn't even tell you the brand off Amazon.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm using right now. So it doesn't take much. Obviously, I don't want to speak for anyone's finances or anything, but it really doesn't take that much. So kind of going back to the point I was making before, if you think you've got it, just try it. That's all you got to
Yeah.
do. Try it, see what
For
happens.
sure.
If it's really choppy, you stop it. You maybe you go on. Or honestly,
Mm.
at the end of the day, like AJ said, I think AJ was on his Switch and he was, trying to troubleshoot his sound quality. They'll let you know. They'll say, "Hey, I can't hear shit. Are you there?" Well, or you could even rewatch your old stream and calibrate it. It's not. I think the more that people think that it's one product you're pushing out there and you got one shot, the less effective it is. It's not. It's a fucking growing. It's like an organism, man. It's like iRobot or some shit. It won't
Yeah.
take over the world.
That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, where did I
got a
leave
question.
off here? What's that?
I got a question.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it, Matt.
So, do you think how often do you stream, and do you think streaming every day is a good thing, or do you think streaming when you can? Do you want to do quality over quantity? What do you want to do?
So again, I'm gonna go with the Gary V kind of mindset, which is whatever actually makes you the happiest. Because at any point that it starts to feel like a task and you start to overthink it, I am
Gonna
really
burn you
gonna
out.
argue that you're gonna get burnt out and it's gonna suck.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, if I don't feel like playing or twitching, there are days that I play on my weekends. Because I'll answer the first part of your question. I twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Right?
Mhm.
There are times where I start at 8, depending on, whatever happens after work,
Mm.
Yeah, for sure.
personal things like that. And I try to do a bonus stream on the weekends. So now, having done this for about a month and a half, I can tell you that I get way more viewers on the weekends for obvious reasons. We could
People
easily
are off there.
we could
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
could dissect that easily. But
Mhm.
if there's a weekend where I just don't feel like being on top of the camera, I just feel like kind of solo queuing, and not really just kind of doing my thing. I'm just gonna do my thing, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna play solo. But on that note, I think to answer the question now again, if you're not feeling it, then don't set up a schedule that you're not feeling. And then at the end of the day, I really want to believe it's fluid. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be static. It doesn't have to be that one product you kind of push out. It can be like water, man. Just if it wants to be iced today, it wants to be vapor tomorrow, let it do its thing. And
Yeah, for sure.
switch from there. But I do think that it is important to have at least a minimum schedule. And I think at that point, that's the one you want to try to stay committed to, kind of like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, I'm going to do Wednesdays at this time, because you do have some of those people that really kind of just look forward to your presence, and
Yeah.
you're going to obviously lose a lot of your following if you're not there, and rightfully so. I mean, we can all say
Mhm.
that if I really wanted to watch someone, or I'm in tune for this podcast, and it goes offline for 6 months, I'm going to be like, hey man, what happened? Maybe I just
Yeah.
it's going to happen naturally. You kind of
Yeah.
have to grasp people's attention, but I
People
don't think
will
you have to
fall
hold
off and
yourself.
kind of find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
reason why I was asking too is because I see there's a big difference between because there's a couple of people that I follow. Some
Mhm.
guys stream every day. Some guys stream once a week.
Yeah.
Some guys
Mhm.
stream a couple times a week.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
wanted to know your opinion on your thing. I mean, I don't personally watch a lot of Twitch, unfortunately. I
Yeah.
watch it mostly on YouTube.
Yeah.
And even then, when I do catch live streams on YouTube, it's similar. But I have recently, in the last couple weeks, looking at somebody playing it, because I was like, you know what, I want to see where their YouTube video comes from, because they take
Yeah.
parts of their stream and then cut it up into YouTube videos.
Sure.
So I was just curious, because I've seen people also and how long do you usually stream for?
Okay, you're gonna hate my answers. It's fluid, man. Some days
No,
that it'll
I'd
go
much
from
rather you tell me the fluidity, because that's more natural. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But would you say that you want to stream for a minimum, like an hour?
Yeah. So my logic is, and the thing about Valorant games, because that happens to be what I'm twitching. But let's just say because I plan on actually this weekend, hopefully, trying to get a bonus stream on like maybe Call of Duty or Fortnite or some other game that I'm thinking of playing,
Mhm.
or even
Yeah.
Hearthstone. With Valorant games, they kind of run about 30 to 40 minutes. So by default, my initial plan in my head was, hey, I'm going to do at least an hour, because we have work, things of that nature. But then
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, just based off of the way the chat is going, like AJ will show up from time to time. You just kind of see people are interacting, people are saying stupid shit, like, in the chat. I'm just like, the vibe is flowing. I might go to 12 o'clock, I might go to midnight on that. There are some nights where it's 10 o'clock and I'm not feeling my shot anymore and I'm getting a little tired, and, I shut it down, but I keep everybody informed. They could kind of see, I let them know what's going on, and then,
Yeah.
you
They're
kind of move
understanding
along.
if
Yeah.
yeah. That's
But
cool.
I think you can realistically, if you got the time, and like if it was up to me, and I'm gonna say this a little bit lower, and I mean, I want my wife to tune into the podcast, but at the same time I don't want her to tune into the podcast, for things that are said. But like, realistically, if I could play every day, right, and there was no other, I'd probably Twitch every day. I really think that because again, I think I'm animated and stupid enough for people to still listen. I do the same shit every day. I usually bring a high
Yeah.
enough energy level kind of day in
Yeah.
and day out, but because I kind of want to make sure I balance my own work life stuff, personal stuff, I keep it to at a minimum 2 days, and I usually try to bring in the bonus stream. But it can definitely be all. I've seen all, and I've seen like you said, once a week being done successfully, and I've seen every day being done successfully.
Right.
It's just
You could always, and I think you could always start doing like 1 day a week to
Mhm.
get comfortable with it, and
Yep.
then if you feel like you have more time, you could always be like, well, now I'm streaming Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or and then like you said, don't commit to like the Saturday if you want to keep it open, if you want to do something else in your personal or work life.
Yeah.
But you could keep that as a bonus. You're like, hey guys, I'm streaming this weekend, and people are like, oh sweet, I love this guy. Let's
Yeah.
jump in.
Streaming in like an hour and
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the best part
Yeah.
is that when you have your other handles too, which is why I didn't have an Instagram located like associated with it initially, but now when you have the other handles, the great part about it is that you could if they're really your following and they have those handles, they're going to be on there usually. And if I say, hey, listen, I'm not, stream is canceled today for X, Y, and Z reason, I'll be on. You're gonna get those DMs. They're like, oh man, what happened? I hope you're okay. Let's go. Like, when's the next time you're streaming?
Yeah.
And they're gonna be tuned in. It's all about kind of the one thing I'll say, and I feel like Gary Vee also mentions this as well, is you kind of you got to answer those comments. You got to interact because that's a part of it. I think if you don't like interacting with your community and you don't like interacting with the people and kind of just like your viewers, it's gonna be hard for it to actually grow. And realistically, it would be nice to say, hey, listen, I just Twitch because I'm playing games and I just want to leave it on. But if most people obviously are in it to watch it grow, to grow that community, see where it goes. You're not gonna, again, follow the numbers and stress yourself out based off of it. But you want to see it. That's what we all want to see at the end of the day.
Exactly. I like Gary Vee, but you know who also like?
Who's that?
AJV. He gave me some really good advice. He gave me some really good advice.
I've been nodding my goddamn head because I'm a generous co-host and letting him talk his mind. So
I can't hear the marbles rolling around every time you nod your head. Okay.
It's not marbles, it's a dick.
Oh my god. No, but AJ gave me some good advice because like I was like kind of questioning things recently. I'm like, I just need to, like, how do I get more people interacting? And he was like, well, you got to reach out and interact on other people's like Instagram pages. Like, don't just like their stuff, because like that was like one of the things I've complained about. I'm like, people just like my shit, like, and it's like something to engage in. Like, it'll be like a poll, and people will be like, do you like this or this? Yes. Like, that's not helpful when people do that shit. And it's like, so instead of just liking something, like it, and then maybe make a comment on their like post or whatever, and that gets more engagement out of it. And people are like, oh, this guy's reaching out. Like, people see you posting and then start to recognize you and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you, AJ. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, man. I think that actually just it works really well. Because and Andre can appreciate this coming from sales. You just like, it's literally networking. You're networking your people, you're reaching out, you're talking to them, you're actually being interactive. So our whole entire goal is to create this community. We have to start acting like we want to actually build a community. You can't build a community with just saying, yes, how you doing? Okay, bye. That's not how a community works.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've noticed recently having like some interesting conversations with people on Instagram, like, they've been commenting on my stuff, and I'm like, dude, thank you. Like, I really appreciate you reaching out. Like, they're like, well, we're here to support you. You're supporting us. And like, that's what I like to see, like, yeah, it's awesome. Let's see, what aspects of streaming do you most enjoy other than like the comedy stuff and all that? Like,
I really I think it's just great to be able to like do what I love doing, which is play video games. You know what I mean? That's one aspect I'm doing it, but then it's also really it's literally like, I don't know, it's like if you've gone to like Comic-Con or you've been to any convention, or if you go to like tournaments, things like that, when you're there, it's like you're literally submerged in like just a community of people that are in it. Like, I imagine I'm playing the game and maybe there's five of my teammates, and I might try to spark a conversation, but they're not the most talkative on like which gun is better. Like, there's a console war within the game between the Vandal and the Phantom, and it's like, which gun do you like better, right? And it's like, I posed that question out on Twitch, and I got the chat blowing up like, for this and this reason, and it's like, it's that, you know what I mean? It's just kind of that community again. It's really the interaction is really what I love. I think that's what I enjoy the most. It's just when you're able to just kind of like you're playing, you're still enjoying the game, but then it's like still got all that cool stuff. It reminds me of I told you I used to play like the competitive like trading card games even. Like you're there and like maybe it's not your turn, you're waiting for the opponent to play, but you got people talking behind you, you're hearing about like, just
chilling.
you're geeking out, man. It's just like it's just great.
So like just like the electricity that's just all around you.
Yeah, it's really that. It's really
making
just
those
that.
connections with people.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's super cool. How did you? Do you think? Oh wait, hold on a second. What sources do you use to kind of get your viewers a little bit, if that's something that you do?
So I don't really. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I try to just put out content and see what happens. But
See what comes your way.
yeah, I've been trying to
Mhm.
be better with putting it out there. To AJ's point of on the Instagram, posting when I'm actually live. Obviously, trying to see if some of my friends can repost it, things of that
Mhm.
nature. I'll be completely honest with you. I have not went kind of crazy in that department. I haven't like reached out to every one of my followers or my family, on my personal
Yeah.
page and say, hey, listen, promote it. I didn't want it to be that for the very reason I kind of started everything. Just wanted to put out content and see what it
I was
does.
gonna say because I
Yeah.
haven't noticed. I've noticed like you don't have a ton of stuff posted like on your Instagram or anything.
Yep,
It's
I don't
all
really-
centralized to Twitch mostly.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really like I don't like to I just kind of want to just put it out there and see where it happens. I really kind of
Mhm.
it grows word of mouth. Half the time the people that I did have hosting my
Mhm.
Twitch and like flooded me with viewers before, it was like, hey, listen, I watched this guy one time and he's pretty dope, and it's just simple word of mouth. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I don't know if it'll stay that way for now in the early stages. I think that I'm going to keep it as just my Instagram and try to get it word of mouth, but I know that there are some resources for others that are listening to this podcast they might want to use. I heard Reddit is great. Obviously,
Yeah.
have your own Discord, joining other people's Discord and plugging in your handle. I do drop my Twitch when I'm playing non-competitive games. Usually, I don't drop it in the competitive modes, but if I'm playing like unrated modes in Valorant, I'll usually drop my Twitch handle in there and say, hey, follow me, because it's all fun anyway. But those are some good sources, some good tools to help growing streamers, I know.
That's awesome. Do you think some people should turn their streams into YouTube videos? I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
but...
we kind of did. I think that yeah, to be honest with you, it makes the most sense. It really does. It's a little bit of laziness for me. It's also a little bit of just kind of I'd probably say, like, again, I didn't want to overthink it. I didn't want to be like, oh man, it's because I'm posting a video, did I edit it well enough? I'm definitely that guy. Like I get paralyzed. I get paralyzed by you know what I mean? You get paralyzed by overthinking, where you're just kind of like, oh man, did I do this right? Is this right? Could I lighten this more versus doing that? And
I know.
That's what I think. Like, yeah, I think you absolutely should. To answer the question, yes, you absolutely should. Take your past broadcasts, create a YouTube channel, and throw it on there. That's what I plan on doing. That's what I intend on doing, and just doing it that way. If you find that it's crippling you, or if you find that it's bringing any kind of negative emotion, then axe it. Simple as that. But there's no issue with getting more outreach. More viewers. It's
you
a
don't
whole
have to
different
do a
niche.
ton of editing afterwards or anything like
Exactly.
that. It's just
like this.
just
I think like what you're doing with this. You said you posted up on YouTube as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just started. I think like I posted like the third episode just up yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
This is I mean, it's just good outreach. It's good. Like my thought process was like, it's multiple platforms to have it on. Not everybody likes to listen to podcasts. You have more people that are like more into Twitch or more into just watching some like a video of like us, talking and bantering back and forth. Like you get more of that visual aesthetic of like seeing the faces and getting familiarized with them, versus just listening to them. And like, some people prefer video over audio. So yeah, it's like, it's a cool option to have, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that's why I said I'm leaning towards that myself, because like it's kind of to Matt's point, it was like I may not watch Twitch all the time. I myself, funny enough, didn't watch a lot of Twitch prior to being on Twitch, and I was the same way. I would look at it on YouTube because I was always like, especially since they uploaded YouTube to TVs, I'd have my breakfast and like go to YouTube app on the TV and like watch literally a Twitch streamer's clips, not realizing that I never watched them on Twitch. So I'm definitely of the same boat, and I think it's great. It's just really because, like you said, it's like it becomes a currency It's like another medium. Like, hey, I might not use podcasts, but I do use YouTube. I'll watch him there, even though he's really
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you were to change anything about the industry of like content creation or streaming, the way that it's done, how would you go about doing that?
Wow, that's a tough one.
It's a loaded question, I know.
Yeah, change anything.
Yeah.
I'd probably say it. So it is tough right now. I feel like in general for newer streamers, and this is why actually I really, just a side part break on it. Like what you're doing now, I think is so important, right? Like just kind of ground up, supporting each other, collaborative efforts from really just kind of everyone that's really trying to just grow their respective whatever vehicle or whatever item they're working on. But I think that it's tough right now based off of a lot of the algorithms on a lot of social media. It's your outreach isn't necessarily as wide as it could be. Obviously there's the capability of things of going viral, but if you log on to Twitch, chances are you're not seeing my stream up there, right? So if there was anything I could change, it'd probably be that algorithm. Maybe I know there are certain ways that you can filter it and maybe say like, hey, most recent streamers or low viewers or whatever. I think you can filter it on there, but that's not usually what's happening. Obviously on the homepage, it's going to always have the larger streamers, people that have clearly making Twitch a lot of money, which makes a lot of sense too. I can't even deny it and say that it's a business decision that I don't agree with, but it's just that's the one thing I feel like I would love to change. I don't know how to go about a valid solution. Would it be something that you log on to Twitch and it shows you the most recent Twitch? I don't think that would be the answer because it's not doing fair for the people that are bringing in a lot of viewers. But maybe it's something where you include a little corner, like the rookie corner. I don't know, the rookie corner that shows that
draw a little more attention to them.
Yeah, like the indie follower of the week. He's got, maybe he doesn't have 10,000, maybe he has like 2,000, 200, and give him a little highlight. You never know. And I feel like that could help grow the community a little bit better too. Because at the end of the day, you might have, let's just say, I don't know, Shroud has 10. That's a streamer that plays Valorant and other games also. But let's say he has like 10,000 viewers. For him, but if you put that little 200 there, for my viewership, maybe it's other people that are going to now watch me, and maybe I'll get up to like 4, so it could be something where it could help everyone. At the end of the day, I think Twitch and these large platforms win if they do that, because they're still, it's the viewers are the same amount of viewers. You're just giving someone else a shot,
Yeah, no, that's a really good thing to think of. Like I didn't really think about that before, and like you said, like that's kind of like what we're trying to do to help people. Like it'd be great if some of these bigger companies kind of focused on that more, but I mean, who knows how you could even get them to do that,
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it's like something, get a bunch of people to band together and I don't know.
I mean, we the
make a
viewers,
bitch
right?
at Twitch.
That's in the Constitution, right? We the viewers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's how it starts.
We the viewers. Yeah.
Our forefathers were gamers. They just didn't announce it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you another question. Would you even consider to going to a different platform that has like not as many people as Twitch does, but it means you might be on the head of the page if you are one of the first people to go on it?
So simple answer, yes, I would be willing to. And but loaded, giving you the detailed answer because I'm always that way. I'd probably say it's just, again, it's what I'm used to. It's what I know,
Yeah.
So if you told me there was something that's out there, hey, check this out. But that right away goes back to my point of just the beauty of word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something I don't even know about, because why don't I know about it? Because these giant monopolies of the large platforms out there, Twitch, YouTube, whatever, they just kind of take over the market. But
Facebook,
for all,
shit like that.
whatever it is. But yeah, like Facebook Gaming, I hear, is another large one that they launched as well. That apparently it's similar to Twitch. I don't know about it. I don't have a Facebook, but
it's cool because if you have like, say, I've tested a couple of times when I was first planning on making my thing a YouTube orientated streaming service and playing games and stuff. It goes directly to your page. So like I have a Devoted Saint Retro page. You actually see me having a test stream on the page, which is
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
And it's
But yeah.
integrated into your Facebook, so you can just share it no matter however many times.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
see that's cool. But even then, like, yeah, I think what's the other one that I think Ninja went to? What was it called? I think it was like Mixer. Yeah, Mixer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think they closed it down.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gone.
That was the Microsoft equivalent to Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
right.
that's the other struggle, right? Because obviously you're talking to us, we're smaller content creators. You're using obviously these platforms that you get a larger outreach. But the last thing you need is like you're a small content creator. You get onto, let's just say, something like Mixer. You do well. You get your viewership, and then all of a sudden you got to change. You know, you don't want your I guess product, lack of a better term, to sync just because
community.
your community to sync. I mean, you'd hope your community would then go move
Yeah,
with
I've
you,
seen that.
migrate with
Yeah.
you, but doesn't always happen. So I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards these larger,
Mhm.
platforms, because it's tried, proven, it's going to be there. That's the
Mhm.
logic, at least, for the most part. But I think I would absolutely, if it meant having it. It's kind of like having that small Reddit forum or whatever it is, when you build your small community and everything. But I would definitely switch to it at any point.
Yeah, that's cool. AJ, did you want to tell your story about how you met?
Oh, about how
Dre?
met Dre. Yeah, so it was so he used to be my supervisor in a company I will not name for legal reasons because
Yep.
they're big and scary.
Yeah, because lawyers. That's why.
Yeah.
That's about it. They got a lot and I got none.
Un pequeño.
In
He's a small agent lawyer. He does well. So it was back when I first had started. I was a rookie, fresh out of sales, and didn't know anybody for the hell of anything, right? So I was talking to somebody on one of my typical just video game tirades because they were asking the typical question, try to get to know everybody. Oh, what do you do? One was talking about, how he plays golf and everything else like that. I was like, oh, okay, golf. I was like, I really don't golf. I was like, I play on the Wii. And he was like, Nunchuck. And I was like, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But then they were just started going back and forth about video games. Are like, oh, well, video games are just, ways of mindless entertainment. It's like, okay, well, so is TV. They're like, yeah, but I was like, no. If you think about it, you sit down, you watch cable TV for like what, typically 2-3 hours after work, and like, what are you doing? Are you actually productive? And I was like, plus also, video games should be considered art. So like,
Yeah.
you have all these developers, you have people who actually
Right.
put their energy behind it. You have all these, the fluidity behind everything, the colors. Is like, it should be considered art. All of a sudden, Dre, out of nowhere, not even hearing the concept of anything, just comes up around and he's just like, you talking about video games? I'm like, yeah. How'd you know about that? And he's like, because I heard you talking about how I talk about it. Video games are art, and I agree. Video games are awesome. I love, and he and I just started, and he's like, I got a Mario. He's like, I got a Mario wallet right here, dude. And it was like, he just.
Oh yeah, my Nintendo wallet.
So I was like, right. So I'm like, yo, this dude's legit. This is awesome. So I did not know him from the hole in the wall, but ever since then, he and I would just be like, what's up? Hey, like, what'd you play recently? Nah, not much. Whatever. So, just kind of met him that way. Then he became my supervisor, and also, yo, I
There's
told him
stories with that, man.
I told him about the strut.
Oh yeah, the strut. Oh, you told me
that was,
about the.
that
Oh,
was
the
gonna be
strut.
my next question.
Can I do the strut?
Yes.
You mean the? Please tell me you've seen him walk in person. Please tell me you've seen him walk in person. That's
No,
called
I
No.
saw him walk down the aisle at my wedding, and that's exactly how he walked.
exactly how he walked, man. I'm telling you, it's called the Volpe strut. The Volpe strut. That's what I named it.
Oh my god.
No,
I
it's
know.
funny. You make me
you know
sound
what's-
like a crack addict, though, man. I'm just like there, like, oh man.
I literally had it written on a sticky note so I can ask that question. That was gonna be my last question. God,
My
yes!
bullshit.
It's funny. The Volpe strut.
It's
Man.
all right. Cover from this. It's fine.
It's
Fine. I'm good. I'm fine.
Yo,
Not
but,
to blow up
like,
AJ's
funny
spot
enough-
or anything, but
Yeah.
we do. Our group of like 15 friends, we all make fun of him for that same strut.
I told you.
I've been copping shit for that since I was in high school. I got thick ass skin. I don't give a shit about that anymore.
Yeah.
It's how I walk. It's how I die walking. I'm gonna go in the freaking. You just hear the fucking. What's he doing? I thought he was dead. Nah, he's strutting.
Fucking Christ.
No, it was funny because I know honestly to be I really honestly never thought that I would be talking or seeing Dre ever again ever since I left that company.
Mhm.
But he was in the same department as my sister, and my sister just she's like, do you know a guy named Andre? Like, yeah. Was he your supervisor? Yeah. Well, okay, you're getting creepy. It's like, are you stalking me or something? It's like, nah, he just started in my department and he started talking to me. She's like, okay, I think I worked with your brother, and just started going into everything. So I think it's actually to just kind of tout on his ego a little bit. Dre's single-handedly kept me with my job at that company. To be honest with you, if
True
it
story,
wasn't for him,
actually, man.
yeah.
Fucking awesome.
If it really honestly was not for him, I would have been canned. And
Yeah.
so he had my back ever since then. And I actually think that it's awesome that, we're able to, talk with one another again, actually interact. I think obviously probably getting to actually know one another more on a friend level rather than,
Sure.
supervisor and
for sure.
subordinate. So I would definitely say, he reached out to me, and we've been going back and forth about the Twitch stream. So he's all about, he's like exactly what he was saying to you, man. He's like, just go for it. He's like, I think, with your personality that you got, you like to talk, you're very personable. I think people will come to you. It's like, you just go for it. So, more than happy to try to do everything that we can do. Maybe we can bring you into the fold of what we got on the Discord or in the Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
But I
Sure.
think this is going to be fantastic for everybody, man.
I
Yeah,
agree.
definitely.
I agree.
Yeah. It seems like. How long have you been Twitch streaming for?
Me, I've only been Twitch streaming for legitimately like a month and a half, man. I'm not even kidding. It was like into this new year. Literally for Christmas, my
Yeah.
wife was like, "I'm getting you a camera. You're doing this," and I was like, "Shit, I'm really doing this. Fuck it!" And like, as I pulled that trigger, it was just crazy. I'm telling you, you kind of get a little high off of it, man. I'm telling you, I'm playing and like when the fact that I'm like, because it's a concept for me. I'm like, yeah, I knew like obviously random people in game wanted to queue up with me. They think I'm funny. Half the time it's because I'm good and they want me to carry them or whatever. Like it's just the way it is. Like, oh, carry me up to the higher ranks. But then like you got these people that are watching. It's like, dude, you're fucking hilarious. I just want to watch you. And I'm like, at first it's kind of weird. Like, in a weird way, like you just want to watch me. But then, but like while I'm sleeping, or what do you mean? What define these parameters? But then at that point, I was just like, you just play, and then when you get like that, like to his point when he was saying like, hey, how often do you stream? I don't think I could even done one day, because when I did the one day, like the first Tuesday, and like I had like I forgot what it was, like 16 viewers, people I didn't even know, and I'm like, oh, or even when it was people I did know, because I had like a friend or two that they followed me and they saw it and they were like, hey, listen, like, because I didn't send, like I told you, I didn't solicit it to my friends. I didn't say, hey, listen, I'm on Twitch, follow me. I like legitimately, I posted it on my Instagram once, and that was it. Like, hey, if you did it, you did it. Not pressuring anybody. Do what you got to do. Hopefully, the content speaks for itself. So then, when I had a friend or two pop up in there too, it's great too. It's like these are people that may not have spoken to in like years. And I'm coming back and I'm like, oh man, you're here. This is great. Like you can see,
awesome.
I can't see you, but I fucking miss you. Like and it's just like
that's awesome. Yeah,
it's great.
It's
man.
cool.
It's great.
Brings a lot of people together. It's cool to have people that because then it's just a lot of feels.
All the feels, man.
All the
Volpe, keep your hands where we can see them when we mention fields.
Sorry, I was getting excited.
Otherwise, we're gonna make you strut around your microphone.
Yeah, you've already got 3 restraining orders in 3 different counties, man. Come on.
Yeah. Ooh yeah. Giggity,
giggity.
All right, cool. So, all right, that's all the questions. Anybody got any other questions for Dre? Wrap it up.
Nope.
All right, cool.
Wait, can I counter question? Is there a counter question?
Absolutely
section?
fucking not.
Oh god damn it! All right, so counter question, man. Where do you guys realistically see this going? Because honestly, and maybe I'm gonna let you answer the question. I'm gonna strut your ego afterwards. So where do you guys see this going? Just the podcast, Digital Denizens. What does it mean to you guys?
So I mean I want to be able to kind of branch out and, obviously do more of this. Like, I want to bring more people who are doing streaming like you do or YouTube. I mean, eventually I would love to bring on, like, I've reached out to a couple here and there, and some of them agreed, and actually I had like one of them agree. I found him on Instagram. I think it was one of the games I posted the other day. It was Pixelot. It's on Steam, and it's like this it's like a pixelated old school like Final Fantasy game. And I was like, you want to come on to the podcast? He's like, well, there's a lot of stuff going on lately, so I can't right now. But I was like, when you're ready, you let me know. Like, I want to bring on indie devs. I want to bring on like, reviewers that are looking to, kind of get into, being, because I've seen there's other like reviewers that will do like freelance work on there's Honest Gamers. There's a really cool website. You can find some really cool reviews to like indie games that people like don't ever fucking hear about. So it's like these reviewers that are helping these indie devs, but they're also like helping themselves like get their name out there doing reviews and stuff. So like, I don't know, I like the stuff. Like, do you know who Greg Miller is from IGN? Yeah, like he went off and did Kind of Funny. Like, I like what they started to do. I don't like the direction that they've gone necessarily where they are now. But I want something similar like that. Like, we're, obviously that's kind of what we're aiming for with Digital Denizens, is to kind of like be the voice for like this overarching umbrella to reach out to people and kind of like, find out like, what are these people's passions? What do you do? And, like that's kind of what I want it to be, just like, is the megaphone.
Sure.
And like kind of just bring interesting people onto the podcast and just have like a fun time and just make new connections with people. So
yeah, Matt chiming out on that. Volpe, anybody?
Yeah, you guys.
I would say that I mean to be honest with you, I don't like to. I mean, I appreciate Keith, like, saying that it's our thing, but I think it's more of his baby, and we're just here as support. So I would definitely say that every step of the way we're here to support him, because it sounded like, he had a couple people dip on him. So he's asking me, he's like, hey, listen, man, you want to, if you want to jump on the podcast, absolutely. I'm here for you, and that's exactly, so my co-host, sure, why not? Absolutely. But still, at the end of the day, this is Keith's baby, so this is his deal. I'm just here to support. I'm the backup singer. He's freaking, like Whitney Houston right over there. So
oh my goodness.
Because you know what it reminds. The reason I asked, you know what it reminded me of? You guys remember the show Comic Book Men?
I remember
guys,
heard about
it's
it,
the show.
Yeah.
So it used to. I forget what I think he used to even show after like Walking Dead or something like that. I think I would always watch it after
AMC.
Walking. Right, it was always after Walking Dead, right? But it reminds me of that, right? And you forget about whose show it was, right? Like obviously, if it's Keith's show or whatever, you could be the Kevin Miller. But that's the kind of vibe that I feel like it gets off, and people watch that, man. People watch that shit till and I feel like that's what it kind of comes off, almost like that Attack of. You remember G4 and Attack of the Show and everything,
Yes.
That's kind of what I think that it has, like the potential to grow into so easily. And I think that, and I feel like community wise, like it's there, man. Like you go to, and not even forget about just geographic location, like within Long Island itself, I guarantee you could find a community that would tune in just because it's local, just because it's, all shit gaming. You know what I mean? You could probably get like local stores involved. Like you mentioned, you got a shop in there. I'm sure like whatever Grimm's or whatever is close by to whoever, you know what I mean? Like it's, it's going to be a whole bunch of shit that I feel like I could see a lot of collaboration and growth with it, man. I really think that's dope, man. It's great to just sit around on fucking Friday night and just bullshit about games, dude. Like
have a couple drinks and
have
chill,
a drink, like whatever. Dude.
I mean, you're right. Like AJ said, we're AJ and I are coming into Keith's domain because he's the podcaster. But AJ and I have a background in creating podcasts also. When I used to work with him for All for Gamers, because DevotedSaintRetro was a part of All for Gamers, and I helped him out with that. And we did a podcast for a long time. I mean, how many episodes did we do? I think we were up to like.
We were past 20. I think we were maybe up to about 26.
Oh, wow. Yeah, something like that. And then we just stopped because he had personal things in his life. I had personal things. and it kind of fell off. We did streaming, we did tournaments with all people, we did everything. So like this whole thing, like and even Keith, you were saying with Leslie, we wanted to do that same thing. We wanted to bring that community together because that's what we talked about originally when we had everybody, and we wanted to do this. And it's kind of funny that I've been on your podcast because Leslie and I were going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And we were going to do one talking about gaming art because we're both artists. Even though
I think you guys should still do that too. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I was just gonna say it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I mean,
no.
communities could live amongst each other. You know what I mean?
No, and that's the thing.
Cohabitate.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't start it because we're on this podcast. No, because this one is more gaming as a whole.
Yeah.
Like as Leslie's and I podcast would be more about the art styles of games and different games and having different people come on and talk about the art, because it's funny, like I don't consider myself an artist at all, like even though
nah, man, I think you're underselling yourself there though, man, especially from
that's
what
the
you
thing. And it's funny because my mom and my grandfather are both artists by trade, like that's what they are. And like for years I never considered myself as an artist. Yeah. And I was always just, I'm a mechanic. I'm just a jack of all trades. I know how to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then I just
don't sell yourself short, though. You're
no,
very
I think the reason why I say you're selling yourself like really short is that if you go to Comic-Con, you go to any of the small cons, BlizzCon, WinterCon, whatever you want to go to,
LA Retro, whatever.
Yeah, you go to these, even LA Retro, and that's even one of the smaller ones, right? You go to those, you see the stuff that they have in some of these booths, like that shit right there, sitting behind AJ right there, is fucking. They'd be selling that, and they would have it sold out easily there, like easily at the booth in no time. And it's art. It's art for people,
COVID's
man.
the reason why it fucked me this year. That's literally the only reason.
I agree. I agree with that. I was just
had
gonna say
5 shows that I was supposed to go to because I was supposed to go to 2 on Long Island, 2 in Jersey, and 1 in Connecticut.
Yeah, it's screwed a lot of people.
Yeah, of course. And I mean that's a whole different podcast for that topic itself.
Yeah.
But I mean on that standpoint though, it shouldn't. I mean, you're online. I'm telling you, people would buy that. You still have an online store. You get enough of
I've actually had a lot
presence?
of custom orders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I had one person that asked for actually it was a friend of ours. He was helping move one of our other friends, and he's like, you make controllers? And I was like, yeah. Controller stands? I was like, yeah. And he's like, can you make one with the Master Chief on it? I was like, I think so. And I made one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I made it, and it's on my Instagram, and it ended up coming out really cool.
That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta it's put out the shit, man. Put out the content. You're good at it. That's what I mean. Put out the content. You're good at it. The shit will sell itself.
I'm terrible at posting stuff on Instagram. That's my problem.
Yeah, me too.
We're trying to keep him accountable. We're trying to push him into doing it.
I've posted a lot of stuff the last couple of days.
You have, yes. No, we're very proud of you, Matt.
No way.
Good job, Matt. Oh, you posted?
Holy shit!
Tomorrow he learns to tie his shoes.
We got him to run first before walking. But no, I love having AJ and both Matt on and Leslie and keeping it diversive, because like, first of all, like Matt and you too, Dre, like you guys are into Pokemon. Like that's not something that I'm super into, but I respect people for liking what they like. And it's good exposure, I think, for like people who wouldn't normally listen to it. Like, somebody listens to it and they're like, oh, there's something Pokemon related. Like I've never heard Keith talk about Pokemon before. So this is really cool. Like it's just, it's good to have like just very discussion about like different games that people are playing. Like AJ plays a ton of like Legend of Zelda. Like I like Legend of Zelda, but that's also not another like franchise that I'm super big into. But I appreciate his love for it, and I love hearing him talk about it. And I know there's other people out there just like him that talk about Legend of Zelda. Right. Like it's the fan base is there. So it's like, I want to be able to reach reach people, and I'm enjoying talking to them about it. So
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it had such a potential. It's like that comic. The reason I said it reminded me of the comic book man show. It's like some people could be like, "Oh, DC versus Marvel, all that bullshit," right? But at the same time, it's like when they're talking about it, they're talking about all kinds of comics, and then regardless of where your background is, you're still into it. You're like, "Oh yeah, no, I did read that. I did read that," and it's kind of like this, and that's what it reminds me of. It's like, all right, you may not be into Pokemon, but like we love it. We're into Zelda. I'm into fucking literally everything, dude. I'm like a poly game sexual. Like I don't know, like
That's a thing.
Yes, yeah, it is now.
You know what I mean? So it is now. We just coined it. You better patent that shit.
Yeah.
Digital copyright my asshole, man. But but you know what I mean? Like it's really that's the cool part about it. And I definitely think that it has, the potential for just that. So I think you guys got to just keep doing it, man. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, I really do. That's awesome. Speaking of which, I think I brought this on. I think it was 2 episodes ago. Attack of the Show and X Player both coming back.
Oh wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, with the original hosts and everything.
We all watched Attack on the Show because of Olivia Munn, right? I mean, we're all gonna just we're gonna just admit that right here, right now, like. That where Age is like, no.
Oh. And check. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I need to go do something off camera that's not suspicious.
Get your ass back here. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I really do appreciate that. It's good to have some encouragement, amongst friends and talking about all this stuff. So, yeah, I really do appreciate it. All right. Well, I think that's all the time that we got for today's podcast. Real quick. Well, usually we do like the retribution correction section, but we don't have any corrections this week just because we don't ever get anything wrong. No, just kidding. We get everything wrong.
Almost everything. Give us some credit.
Yeah.
As long as I'm getting it. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we're counting on you guys to help us build this podcast into something really great and worth your listen. So if we happen to get anything wrong or mischaracterize things from time to time, which we can do, and we do very often, this is your opportunity to help us support us so we can set the record straight for future episodes. We're counting on you to hold our feet to the fire. Just don't burn us too badly. If you're watching the video version, we'll put the links down below for social media. Real quick, I'll let you guys put your plugs in again so that way people can know where to find you guys at. AJ, go for it.
Allforgamers.com if you guys want to read on some articles about interesting tidbits of gaming facts that I find throughout the week. Instagram, All4Gamers. That's ALL 4 GAMERZ. My shop is also attached to the Instagram as well. I do sell the gaming items, the tiny arcades. That goes hand in hand with my YouTube channel. I'm making videos on histories of these arcades as well to kind of get people to kind of remember what it was back in the day about 80s and 90s gaming that kind of makes gaming so special. And keep an eye out for Twitch, A4GZ. That's twitch.tv/A4GZ. Going to be doing some streaming soon and Let's Plays, so that'll be fun.
Hell yeah, awesome. Look out for those pocket pinballs. Matt, where's your where's everybody gonna find you at?
The website is DevotedSaintRetro.com. The Instagram handle is DevotedSaintRetro. I do have a Twitter. Don't really go on it a lot. And you can find me anywhere. Honestly, message me mostly on Instagram. I'll get to you for any custom orders if you want. I do a lot of custom orders. I've made Chiefs logos on controller stands. I've made a lot of other random things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on everything.
Awesome.
Nice.
Arg, me find Captain Redbeard by the smell of the sea.
Me.
Get off me, poop dick.
Fuck the deck.
And Dre, where's everybody gonna find you at?
Mine's is a lot shorter, that list, so it's going to be unlike other things that I have, but
Pequeño.
it's in Pequeño, one last time, right? It's Instagram's fingers421. Twitch is going to be twitch.tv/fingers421.
All right, very cool. And then if you guys want to write in for corrections, interesting stories, all that stuff, you can find me on Instagram at digital_denizens and Facebook at digital denizens. I do have Twitter, but again, I don't really go on there that much. I need to kind of change my handle so it's like in unison with everything else. Otherwise, you won't be able to find me. But yeah, that's all the time we have for today's podcast. We hope that you guys enjoyed what you guys heard and truly appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Digital Denizens. You have no idea how much it truly means for us that you guys listen in, that you guys like it. Thank you guys for coming on to the podcast. It's been a fucking blast hanging out with you guys and just
A lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
hell yeah. All right, so listen in. Write in, as I always say, hit that like and subscribe button, and keep your ear to the ground for more to come very soon, guys. Peace.
You are listening to Digital Denizens.
Later.
Goodbye.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
I have a voice effect. I could have done this at any time that we wanted to curse. Be
Oh.
you know what? Go fuck.
Got it.
That'd be way too many.
That would have been literally, it would have just been, we would have sounded like a dead person. Like, it would have been like, it was just straight.